Yeah, we on. All right. Shalom, Israel. Shalom. How your brothers doing tonight? Y'all good?
Good. I'm good as we can be, right? As good as we can be in captivity.
That's right, man. I can't complain. I'm on the right side of the dirt, but nah. Some stuff finna get said. Yeah. We finna read Esau his rights again.
That's right.
All right, so shalom, family. Shalom. Hey, hit the like button, hit the share button. Definitely make sure you share this. This is a lesson that everyone can use tonight. We got a little bit of a different flow tonight. We're going to do a little bit of a PowerPoint, a couple different things. Shalom, I don't want to know. We're going to do a couple different things tonight. But we hope you're edified in this. You're going to need your Bible. You're probably going to need your Apocrypha. You need pen and paper. You might need a concordance, just depending on how it goes. And you need an attentive ear tonight. And also, tonight, you might want to actually put some of your feelings aside and start to remind yourself about some things that you may have let go. Right? Tonight's one of those nights where it's a self-reflection thing.
That's right.
About your past, your family's past, your ancestors' past, and all of Israel's past. All right. This one of these lessons. It's one of these lessons that it's a reflect. This is one of those things that we, as a group of people, we tend to try to push stuff off to the side. Like, yo, we don't, you know what I'm saying? This is, let's just act like it didn't happen. And then, it ease the pain. But guess what, Israel? We need to actually remember these things. You notice Esau still tell you, never forget 9/11. He don't never want to forget what made him want to bomb the hell out of all of the Middle East. Never want to forget that. He want you to remember it, even though you didn't actually get bombed. He want you to remember it. Now, if that's what Esau is doing to make you to make you feel like well, let me take that back. If that's what Esau is doing, and he's allowing that, he's using that as a tool to help you feel more incorporated in America, then what should you be doing, Israel, to feel more like your heritage, to go back to your heritage? What should you actually be worried about and thinking about? We're gonna talk about those things tonight. We're gonna go back over what the hell happened to us, how we got docile, how we got into this state, and what we need to do and think about to change it. So tonight, I hope you guys can enjoy this. Hope you guys actually take the time to actually listen and learn this. Tonight, the brother Aaron has a beautiful lesson for y'all tonight. This lesson is called Remember Thy Affliction. And you can tell by the title, we about to go over some stuff that ain't exactly going to be kosher. It ain't exactly going to make you feel good, Israel. Y'all might actually want to do a Capitol Hill right now. I'm just playing. You ain't going to want to do Capitol Hill. But it's going to be some things that you're going to think about doing to Esau tonight after this is over with, man. And we ask that you control your spirit. But if you got questions, ask your questions. We'll be happy to try to answer those. All right. So with that, I'm gonna turn it over to the brother Aaron. I'm gonna let him kick this off and get started.
At the water, Adawan. Before we begin, like the Adawan was saying at the very beginning, please like, share, subscribe to our page. Definitely share the video because a lot of people aren't getting notifications when we go on live. So if you want to get that word out, make sure you share the link to this video tonight. But yeah, I hope everybody doing good tonight. Again, the lesson is called Remember Thy Affliction. I appreciate the Adawan for the great intro. Y'all, Laura, if you want to get the presentation started, we'll get straight into it, y'all. Remember, share the video, y'all.
All right.
So again, like we said, what's needed for this lesson: King James Version Bible, your Apocrypha, notebook, a pen or a pencil. I know the Adawan already went into it, but we just gonna give you all the visuals so you know. Next slide. Like I said, remember thy affliction. Let's go to the script, King. Go straight to the other slide for me. Can you bring those out for me?
So one thing that's important is, of course, you got to know your history, and the scriptures also tell us the importance of this, and it's also kind of a commandment. So we're going to start up in the book of Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 7. It says, remember the days of old, consider the years of many generations. Ask thy father, and he will show thee, thy elders, and they will tell thee.
That's right. You should be able to go to we should be able to go to our father. We should be able to go to our grandparent and get this information and learn our past, right? That's what the script is trying to tell us. We should be able to go and get some information from our senior leaders. Get some of this knowledge, get some of this wisdom, get some of this understanding. Let me get that Job 8 and 8.
This is the book of Job 8 and 8. It says, for inquire, I pray thee of the former age, and prepare thyself to the search of their fathers.
Right, and those scripts go hand in hand. This lesson is about us sitting back, and I really want to touch on that Deuteronomy 32 and 7, where it says, remember the days of old. That's why I tied that into remember thy affliction. What was happening to us in the days of old, and really the days of nowadays and back then? All this pain, anguish, suffering. We were being raped, robbed, pillaged. And why are we sitting back here forgetting these things, right? Why are we letting our oppressors tell us to forget about it? Don't remember that. Allowing us to be docile. Why they keep their foot on our neck. Why they keep us in captivity. Why they continue to punish us every single day. But we sitting here being ignorant to our own circumstances, not realizing, now we've been through a lot. We've encountered a lot of affliction. We too busy trying to suppress our pain and our past. And that's what this lesson is about tonight. We're gonna force y'all to remember some of the heinous things that have been done to you, and hopefully it'll rile you up. And you feel some type of way. You want to stand up and keep these laws, statutes, and commandments and build and learn with your people. Next slide, King.
Hold on, Salaki, Edwin. Before I go to the next slide,
go ahead.
That was an excellent point that you made. And don't get it twisted. Like, we're not oblivious that some of us don't have fathers, but you might have that one old head on the block, or that one old head that you know from your job that you real cool with, that might kind of look at you like you his nephew or his grandson or whatever. You can ask him what was it like in his days and what was some of the stuff that he went through, because if the current generation fails to record the lessons of the previous generation, then that following generation is going to miss that blessing, because we're bound to repeat the same things.
That's right. That's just the truth, man. The water for bringing that out, King. The water. Let's go on to this next slide. So it says the transatlantic slave trade. Cargo ships transported enslaved individuals in horrific conditions for over 400 years. The ships usually traveled from Europe to the west coast of Africa and finally to the Americas. This created the triangular trading route that was named the Middle Passage. Slaves were forced to endure a trip that could take anywhere from 35 days to 6 months, depending on weather conditions. Over 2 million slaves have been estimated to die during the voyage due to harsh living conditions. On the ships, the slaves were all chained together with little to no space. This means bowel movements, urination, and menstruation all took place where the slaves were held. Some scholars estimate anywhere from 12 to 20 million slaves were transported during this period of time. Bring out that, we know this verse, but bring out that Deuteronomy 28, 64 and 68.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth even unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. So it's just like
go ahead, bring it up.
No, so it's just like the scripture was saying. We got taken from one hemisphere to the other hemisphere, and then we even got moved from one continent to multiple continents, because we also got taken to India, which is a part of Asia on one side, and then we still got taken to the Americas on the other side.
Right.
And even some of us got taken as far as the Philippines, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. And let's not even just stop at the slave trade itself. Let's talk about what happens when the people actually hit the land, when they got to their destination. Let's talk about what's going on in these plantations. You literally got, and I want every man on here listening to this lesson, right, to put yourself in this situation. You're a slave, right? It's the middle of the night. You dead sleep. The master walk into your little hut. He grab your wife. He take her to the big house, and he has sex with her. She come back to the hut 30 minutes to an hour later, and she lay down next to you. How do you feel? What you gonna do? How do you feel about that?
I got hung. Y'all gonna wake up in the morning and I'm hanging from a tree because I tried to kill Master twice. I'm not taking that.
Right. But this is what our people literally encountered this on a night-to-night basis. Master come in and he take your wife. He go rabbit your wife. He bring her back. She lay down next to you crying. Probably can't go to sleep because this happened a few times a week. And then you sitting there probably either you riled up, you furious and you want to do something, or you docile because you're afraid to lose your life. And guess what you do? What they taught you to do, to suppress that memory. You don't want to remember what happened. You want to forget all about it while your rib lay next to you in disappointment, sad and anguish, can't figure out why you didn't step up to really not save her, but to help her out in that situation. And that's where it starts in situations like that. That's what I want the man to think about. Think about that. Be that man in that situation.
So lucky, Edwin. I think some of the men have thought about that. That's horrific for them to think about. So they just want to love everybody and they want to be friends with everybody. But let's see who the scripture said that we would be sold to. So I'm gonna start over. I'm gonna go to Deuteronomy 28:68.
I got it, King.
Khan. Shalom, Edwin Barnabas.
Shalom, yeah, other ones. Okay. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
Right. Nobody's going to redeem you. That's a situation where brothers don't got no might in their hand at all. Like I said, you wake up, you get woke up in the middle of the night and your wife is taken from you. What kind of power do you have? But let's go deeper, right? When we're talking about plantations, they had two different forms of what they call buck breaking, right? Some of y'all know one of the forms, but they had two different forms of buck breaking. One form was when they would take the strongest or what they would consider the mightiest man on the plantation, and they would beat him half to death in front of everybody in the plantation to let them know that the Edomite was in charge, that they ran the show, right? So imagine how the whole entire plantation think when they see the strongest guy they know they've ever seen in their life, weak, laying there bleeding, looking like he's worth nothing, right? That's one form of buck breaking. Then they had the second version of buck breaking, where literally the slave master would rape the biggest, strongest guy on the plantation in front of everybody and break him down like that in front of the whole entire plantation. Then he would have to signify that he was raped by sagging his pants. While y'all out there sagging y'all pants thinking it's cool, that was a nightmare to signify you had to sag your pants back then. It showed that you had been violated by somebody. But y'all think it's cool now because guess what? You don't remember anything. You suppressing your memories. You suppressing your past. That's why we got to start remembering these things. Go ahead, King.
Now I got a precept right here too. It's another one of the curses, but we got so used to this curse and we envied our oppressors so much, we started doing this to each other. This is the book of Deuteronomy 28:30. It says, thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. Thou shalt build an house, and thou shalt not dwell therein. Thou shalt plant a vineyard, and shalt not gather the grapes thereof. Now, we see effects from this all day long, especially how it's marketed today in the music. Brother want to sleep with your girl. You got to go to work. for somebody else. You got to help build somebody else's kingdom or somebody's empire for their job instead of being autonomous yourself. You still have to gather. You're going to work. Some of us work in actual fields. Literally, to this day, you're going to do somebody's yard work to make somebody else's house look good. And you might make $50, $60, depending on where you live at.
Right. That's true. And that's why it's important to remember what's going on, man. Even when you think about the sub-Saharan slave trade, they would literally castrate young men on purpose just because they thought they worked better without distractions. They wouldn't have all that testosterone and they wouldn't be looking at the women. They would be better workers. So they literally castrated the people. These are your ancestors that they were doing this to. They was doing it in the transatlantic slave trade. Brothers here was getting castrated. They would take like a funnel and force feed people, either through their mouths or through their nose, if you didn't want to eat or if you was too sick to eat. But they wanted to.
You know what they was force feeding them. You know what they was force feeding them. That was straight pork, all pork. Yeah.
Exactly.
All pork. You know, when your slave master decide he want to do something to you, he gonna be monotonous. He gonna really take his time to really be thorough about what he doing. He ain't just gonna give you enough food you want to eat. He gonna force feed you everything you don't want, everything you can't eat. He probably had bits of shrimp and lobster put up in there too.
Right.
He wanted you to get everything. The point is to make you know that you have been defiled, so you'll submit to him. That's his point.
It is
to
keep you in sin without you even knowing it. Go ahead, King.
So not just to keep you in sin, but when you understand the laws and you understand how wicked and how much our oppressors actually hated us, and you understand that a man who has his member cut off can't get into the congregation of the Lord. They not only wanted for us to suffer, they didn't even want us to get the kingdom.
That's right.
So I got this precept. It's Deuteronomy 23:1. It says, "He that is wounded in the stones or have his privy member cut off shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord." They were castrating us. There's more to it than just you not being able to reproduce and you not being able to leave a legacy behind on this earth. You can't even get into the kingdom. They hated us that much. By any means necessary, we're going to keep these niggas from getting into heaven, from getting the kingdom.
Let's go. That's a good point, man. Let's go to the next slide, King. Right. So this is an actual visual. They did a little reenactment, and they made up a ship. They made a ship to demonstrate how the slaves were actually being transported to and fro during the slave trade era, right? Now you see they right next to each other, 0 to no space. What do you think they supposed to do? Ain't no bathroom. So if a brother got to use the restroom, he using it right where he laying, and he's laying right next to somebody else. If a woman's on her cycle, she's having her cycle laying right next to somebody else. Somebody has diarrhea, etc. All that's happening right where they lay. Ain't nobody coming to clean that up. So you can only imagine the conditions that they dealing with while taking a possible 6-month trip. Reflect and think about this. This is your people dealing with this. They barely getting food, and it's bowel movements, it's piss everywhere. Imagine the smell on the shit. But y'all already play 2K. Y'all don't want to think about that. Y'all don't want to remember this pain and this anguish. Yeah, but y'all know every LeBron James highlight, all his shoes when they drop. You can't wait to line up to get the J's. But you can't tell us nothing about your history. And that's the problem with Jake, right? Go ahead to the next slide, King.
That's all Jake remember is 12 years of slave, 400 years of slave. That's it.
If they remember that. So this is from the book called The Conquest of the New World, The American Holocaust. It says there also were the unique horrors of the African slave trade. during the course of which at least 30 million and possibly 40 to 60 million Africans were killed, most of them in the prime of their lives before they even had a chance to begin working as human chattel on plantations in the Indies or in Americas, right? So it said they estimate maybe 60 million Africans were killed before they even got to the plantation to start to work. That's a lot of people. Yeah, the brother said it's worse than 5-point smell. Con. It smelled worse than 5 points. That's a fact. But 60 million of your brothers and sisters died before they even got to work, even become a what I guess you would say a true slave, to be a true captured person in captivity. Bring that Deuteronomy 28 and 49 out.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 49. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
Fine, now we already know who we dealing with. We dealing with Edomites coming and grabbing us, taking us into captivity, right? And you see how many, like what the slide say, almost maybe 60 million of us didn't even make it. And you got to realize they're not giving you the true number. They won't ever want you to know how many of us they really killed off. So they gonna spoon feed you bits and pieces here. But it's our responsibility to go back and try to learn this history. This should make you mad. This should have you pissed off. Literally, if you see all these slides that we about to show and go through this history, you should be pissed off at the end of the day. You shouldn't have a regular day tomorrow and be like, you know what, man, we did go through a lot, but no, you should be upset. This should actually rouse you up. This should ignite that zeal in you to want to do something, to want to keep these law, statutes, commandments. Right. Get out there and push the truth. Hit the corners, hit the highways and byways. Teach your family. This is what the lesson's for, man. Next slide, King.
Hold on. Because if you pay attention to this picture,
go ahead, King.
You see how vivid they were in drawing how brothers look. You see brothers' ribs showing on this picture. You see brothers' ribs showing. They didn't just draw that for no reason. This is what they were actually seeing back then.
Right. Brothers starving. There's starvation right there. That's crazy, man. All right, this is from the Slave Narrative Project, Volume 11. It's from the Library of Congress. Now, in this, what I'm showing you right here with this slide is there was an interview given to a lady named Mary Anderson. She was a former slave, right? And I brought this out because I want you to see the next slide when she talks to the interviewer about her time as a slave. So I kind of cropped some of this out so you can get the key part that had me baffled, and I had to shake my head. Turn to the next slide and see what she said. Now I'm gonna read this the correct way because this was written back in a time where they wasn't using correct and proper English. So I'm gonna read it the correct way. But I want y'all to tell me how y'all feel about what this so-called Negro said, right? She said, "We stayed with Master and Mrs. and went to their church, the Maple Spring Baptist Church, until they died. Since the surrender," and she's talking about the surrender of after the Civil War. So since the surrender, I married James Anderson and I had 4 children, 1 boy and 3 girls. Now listen to this. She said, "I think slavery was a mighty good thing for mother, father, me, and the other members of the family. And I cannot say anything but good for my old masters and misses. But I can only speak for those whose conditions I have known during slavery and since. For myself and them, I will say again, slavery was a mighty good thing." You got to bring out that Hosea 4 and 6, right? And while you pulling it up, imagine how destroyed you got to be to think that your oppressor, the person who literally says they own you, you can't leave my land, you're my property, I can beat, rape, do whatever I want to do to you, is your friend. And you love and you enjoyed the time that you spent with them. Like, she's literally sad that they passed on. And she's telling the interviewer, I had a great time in my captivity. I can't speak for nobody else, but in modern day terms, slavery was lit for me.
That's the definition. That's the epitome of Stockholm syndrome.
Stockholm
Khan.
syndrome. Bring it out, King. Talk
This
about
is
it.
the book of Hosea, chapter 4, verse 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee.
Con.
That thou shalt not, Salakia, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing that thou hast forgotten the law of God. I will also forget thy children.
Con. The Water King. Like I said, this lady literally sat back and said, slavery was good for me and my family. She's damn near thankful for it. Because what y'all don't see, if y'all read this, like I said, this is a book in the Library of Congress. Before this part, she was talking about how her and her family missed their old slave owners. And when they met back up with them, they was telling each other how much they missed them. The slave owners were saying, we miss y'all at the plantation. And then her family's talking about, well, we miss y'all too. And that's how they ended up moving back to the plantation. Who moves back in with their oppressor? You can't be in your right mind if you're willing to move back with somebody who literally held you in captivity. But this is what the sister is saying. She literally suppressed all the things that she may have seen, and she kind of justified slavery in a sense. You know what? I didn't get beat as much. He only would beat them that much. He didn't beat me that much. Or I got to sleep in the big house and I had 2 blankets. Other people had no blanket and I had shoes. So it wasn't that bad for me. And that's the same thing Israel do right now. It ain't that bad for me. I know 2 Edomites, they cool. One helped me with my computer. One helped me with homework. It's cool. The past is the past. No, the past is the present. There's nothing new under the sun. The same oppression you suffered back then and the affliction you suffering right now, whether you notice it or not. Right? Anybody got something to add?
Precept.
Khan.
Yeah.
Hold on. Before I bring out this precept, Barnabas, I'm about to bring out this precept. Barnabas, can you also grab Isaiah 30 and 12? But this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17 and verse 4. It says, and thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not. For ye have kindled a fire in my anger, which shall burn forever. So this is a prime example of us being destroyed for a lack of knowledge as to who we are, and also a byproduct of us forgetting our heritage and forgetting where we came from. Because there's no way in hell you gonna tell me slavery was a mighty good thing. This is like when Kanye said slavery was a choice. This is exactly how he sounds. But you're not gonna tell me you would rather have gone from having servants and being in your own land, having control of your own resources, having your own constitution, which is these holy scriptures, have your own God that you can worship, not worried about getting your children sold, not worried about getting your wife laid with, not worried about getting your husband laid with, not worried about anybody lying to you. I mean, not lying, it's lucky. Not worried about anybody threatening to hang you just because. Just because. Can you bring that Isaiah 30 and 12 out?
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 30, verse 12. Wherefore, thus saith the Holy One of Israel, because ye despise this word, and trust in oppression and perverseness, and stay thereon. Therefore, this iniquity shall be to you as a breach ready to fall. Salaki, as a breach ready to fall, swelling out of the high wall, whose breaking cometh suddenly at an instant.
Oh no, I just want to verse 12. But it's basically, you see, like the Most High is not pleased with this at all. He's not pleased with this. You trusting in oppression. Literally.
I got a precept.
Bring it up.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 16, verse 3. And the children of Israel said unto them, would to God we had died in the hand of the Lord in the land of Egypt, when we sat at the flesh pot, and when we did eat bread to the full. For ye have brought us forth into the wilderness to kill this whole assembly with hunger. So there was all, like you're saying, that they happy in their slavery. You know what I mean? He brought them out to save them, but they're not even grateful for that. They worried about that they was able to eat at the flesh pot when they was in slavery.
Right. You literally have to be sick to have some kind of compassion towards your oppressor. And as you see with the sister Mary Anderson, she was beyond sick. She enjoyed her captivity. She literally went back to live at the place that she was held a slave. The Civil War happened. They was freed, and they went back to the plantation until the former slave owners died. Like the Adawan said, Stockholm Syndrome at its finest, man. Let's move to the next slide, Ken.
Salakia.
Who's that?
Hey, put a 7 in the chat if you can see the PowerPoint.
Live. They can't see it. There you go.
You good?
Yeah. Go to the next slide. Oh no, leave right there. That's right. Con. So this is from the Conquest of the New World, American Holocaust. It's a book. I'm gonna read this. It says they would cut an Indian's hand and leave them dangling by a shred of skin, and they would test their swords and their manly strength on captured Indians and place bets on slicing off heads or cutting the bodies in half with one blow. One cruel captain traveled over many leagues, capturing all the Indians he could find. Since the Indians would not tell him who their lord was, he would cut off the hands of some and throw others to the dogs, and thus they were torn into pieces. Right? So you got the brother out there literally having a competition with our people's life, looking at you like less than a dog, like you ain't nothing. Not the word I want to use. I want to use another word, but they're looking at you like you ain't worth a damn. They literally having competitions to see how they can kill you, man. They still having that same competition today. Right? It said cutting the people into pieces and throwing some of them to the dogs, man. Let me read this other one real quick. It says, when the Spaniards had collected a great deal of gold from Indians, they shut them up in 3 big houses, crowding in as many as they could. Then they set fire to the houses, burning alive all that were in them. Yet those Indians had given no cause nor made any resistance. So just like today, they killing you for no damn reason. Once they get what they got from you, they getting rid of you. And they do this everywhere that they go. Everywhere that they go. They got enough gold from the natives. We don't need you no more. The natives showed them how to farm and live in the Americas. Well, we don't need you no more. Bring out that Genesis 27, 38, and 40.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 27, and verse 38 through 40. It says, and Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother.
God, man, they the sword. They really here to destroy us as best as they can at all time. That's what Esau's whole purpose is. To try to destroy us. Bring out the other precept, King. That Micah 2 and 2.
The book of Micah, chapter 2 and verse 2. Says, and they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage.
Right. This is exactly what they're doing. Every slide we shown is them oppressing us, taking away our heritage. Look what they just did to the natives and what we just read. Soon as they got what they wanted, they got rid of them. You should feel some kind of way if you northern or southern kingdom, that these people was playing with your lives like that, your brothers' lives and your sisters' lives like that, where they're literally turning killing us into a game. It's a sport for them. Go ahead, Kane.
You actually just said the word I was just about to say, because they've been making sport of our people.
That's
You know
right.
what I mean? Because they mentioned that all the way back in Solomon time, with like making sport of him. They always been making sport of our people, man.
That's
Hit
right.
hit the nigga with the ball and all kind of thing. Hit the baby with the ball type thing. You know what I mean? So
Hit the nigga baby with the baseball.
yeah,
Yeah.
con.
Right. It's funny. It's entertainment to them.
Gladiators in
They
the
love
Roman
to be
Colosseum.
entertained. Go ahead, King.
It's like gladiators in the Roman
Con,
Colosseum. They
That's
take
right.
con.
out people and tell, hey, go kill that lion. I mean, I know y'all got family members in history that kill lions. So y'all should be all right. Just go kill the lions real quick. Oh, you kill one, kill 3 of them. Let's see how you do with that. And then you got a whole crowd of people in a stadium that look like a football stadium cheering when you get dismembered while you're fighting for your life. And they think this is entertainment. Ain't much changed with Esau. He's still the same.
They got the same spirit. Adawan. They put you in the football stadium. Wait till you get your helmet knocked off and you unconscious, and they cheer.
Right.
As soon as the brother see that stretcher come out, they be like, "Oh, he gone."
Right.
Like that's
Now
what
we
they
donate.
do.
Lamar Jackson got a concussion this past weekend. Now everybody donating to his charity after he got the concussion. Why y'all ain't give to his charity before he got knocked out?
They got to see
Bring
you
that
hurt.
up.
When it comes to us, they got to see you bleed. They got to see you afflicted. They have to see you hurt. And you got to
That's right.
start realizing that. You got to start realizing that they only want to see you suffer.
That's fun.
Right.
So that's why I keep saying, stop trying to suppress our past. Stop trying to suppress your memories. All this pain that we've gone through as a nation, we have to start remembering it and start standing together. Stop being separate. We always trying to do something to be against each other and be separate and be individuals.
Con.
That's cool at times. But when are we going to unite and say, you know what, man, I had enough of this. They're not going to keep violating me and disrespecting my ancestors, disrespecting my people like this. They got that saying now, oh, we are not our ancestors. Yes, you are. You're definitely your ancestors,
Whether you like it or not.
whether you like it or not. You are your ancestors. You need to stand up for what happened to them too. And make sure it doesn't happen to you. Because right now you're gearing up to allow it to happen again. Go ahead, King.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 14 and verse 32. It says,
I
the
got it.
wicked.
Go ahead.
Oh, you got it?
Yeah, 13 and 42.
14 and 32, yeah.
14 and 32. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 14, verse 32. The wicked is driven away in his wickedness, but the righteous.
See, the wicked is driven away in his wickedness. That's why I don't know if y'all were paying attention to the live on Saturday when Alazar, when Chief Priest Alazar, the really Hebrew, when he was bringing out how there was a college professor that wrote a paper saying all white people are sociopaths and psychopaths. It's the Edomite that wrote this. So you gotta get, like, they even know this, like they telling on themselves. There is no length of what they will go to see some wickedness done. That's why they're called the border of wickedness. They think it's cool for. How much sense does this make? I'm gonna put these niggas in this Coliseum. I'm gonna put a lion there, and I want to watch them fight the lion. I want to see who's gonna win between this. And then after they win, whoever wins, I want to see him fight 3 more people that look just like him. Oh no. That's not it. That's not just it. Modern day. I like promoting these niggas rapping about killing each other, pouring their women out, not being righteous. As long as they ain't talking about killing me, I don't care. But y'all love these folks.
Yeah, make sure Eve talks about that WAP. She can't talk about that WAP. Don't let Eve make nothing positive. Just talk about that WAP, because everybody want that WAP. You know what I'm saying? We don't need to know nothing. Hey, twerk in the screen and say WAP and see how many of these brothers actually take their time to watch your video. I was on Instagram the other day and I was looking at this girl's numbers, and all her numbers, anytime she's twerking or she's just talking about something sexual, her numbers are like 50,000.
Right.
She said had a video about just cooking, like just frying some chicken. 10,000.
Nobody want to see you do nothing normal.
Right, you know what I'm saying? Hey, and Esau's smart. He know how to market all the things that we do that are damaging us. That's what he gonna specialize in marketing in. That he not gonna market somebody that's gonna tell you keep the laws and commandments. If that's the case, all the camps would be on TV right now. He's not gonna do that. Esau gonna tell you, you know what? This is what we need you to do. We need you to tell these little young Negroes, hey, pop a molly. Take some perk. Drink some lean. You know, Future don't even do drugs, but he make all his songs about drugs.
Right.
And Esau Esau pay for Future to sit here and tell you to get high. Wiki. Like, he even made a song called Wiki. He wicked.
Brother, know you wicked.
Go ahead, kid.
Wicked.
Oh, Kalaki, to your point, we look at all of these different, like he's promoting drugs or whatever. And when you really look at what drugs falls under, it really falls into witchcraft. Like you talk about whipping it in the kitchen, and that's literally what you would see a witch doing if she's stirring a potion that's gonna do something to you.
Oh
right.
man.
And then on top of that, what does he nickname himself though? The Wizard. I can't make this stuff up. It's right there in his paper to see.
He ain't lying. The brother telling the truth.
If I say, that's why this what we hoping for. Barnabas, can you finish the rest of that? Proverbs 14 and 32.
This is Proverbs chapter 14, verse 32. The wicked is driven away in his wickedness, but the righteous had hope in his death.
We have hope in the death of these tasty, dusty ass devils.
That's right.
Because we know when they gone, the whole world is gonna be at peace.
God. So like the brother said, TikTok is the preview page for Eve's OnlyFans. He ain't lying. They try to take advantage of them on 30 seconds. He ain't lying. Let's go to the next slide, man. Let's go to the next slide. Brother's bringing it out tonight. All right, so here we got James Marion Sims. He's known as the father of gynecology. Sims is credited for his pioneering tools and surgical techniques related to women's health. In 1876, Sims began to conduct research on enslaved Black women without anesthesia. He performed 30 unsuccessful fistula surgeries on one 17-year-old slave woman. It took Sims 4 years to perfect this surgery. He then began to perform on white women with anesthesia, right? So before we even bring out this precept, how wicked is it that this man is going to take one of our sisters and continuously cut them open time after time after time after time with no anesthesia? Imagine the pain that sister was dealing with.
400 years.
Some of y'all can't even handle that paper cut. Paper cut be right between your fingers, you get the crime, man. I seen it. I seen it with my own eyes, man. Right?
Hey, I flinch when the nurse tell me she got to give me a shot. I ain't gonna lie. I flinch.
God. People afraid of needles. They get the smallest cut, they crying. Man. But this sister had 30 surgeries with no anesthesia performed on her.
Fail anesthesia.
Starting at 17 years old. Basically, he allowed the sister, he used her to be a guinea pig. You know what? You like a lab rat. That's the best word I want to look for. Use our sister as a lab rat. As soon as he perfected his technique, then he grabbed one of his own and used anesthesia to make sure she was good. Didn't care what happened to the sister. Didn't care if she died, what kind of pain she suffered. She was a damn lab rat to this man. And guess what? They got statues of this guy at certain universities because they literally look at him as the father of gynecology. So he's world renowned. Somebody who violated our people, somebody who could have been your great great grandmother, got violated by a guy who has a statue for violating her. How does that make you feel?
I want him in my kingdom. I mean, I want him on my plantation. Like literally, I want him on my plantation. I'm just gonna I'm gonna have a little boy. Every time he say something stupid, hey, cut him. Cut him. Just cut. I don't care where you slice him at, just cut him. Until he gets to the point where he starts begging for people, hey, before you do that, can I get some anesthesia? No. Now we're gonna take your appendix out. Now, just for the hell of it, just to see what happens. We're just gonna just cut it out. I don't even need you thinking. I need to find out all the organs that you don't actually have to have in your body, and we're going to constantly cut into your flesh.
God.
And we're going to keep taking them out until you realize how much pain you caused. And I hope I had that sister somewhere near me too, so she can actually cut him multiple times.
That's
we can
right.
see her face.
I just want people to just put themselves in this situation. Imagine just laying there and somebody time after time keep coming over and performing the same surgery on you. Just using you like a straight up lab rat. Don't care what happened. He pretty much just got a night. He just like, I'll figure it out eventually. Like that's his face every time he come up. Well, you know what? Doesn't matter. It's just a Negro. It's just a slave.
You got a precept.
If I lose one, we got plenty more. That was his mentality. But like I keep saying, y'all don't want to think about this kind of stuff. Go ahead.
We used to, I don't know why we really surprised. Like, look at the pin on this brother. If you look at the very bottom pin, he got a torture device on him. He got a cross right there.
Bring that out.
We know what the cross was. The cross wasn't. You know exactly what the cross was. The cross was a torture device.
That's right. Hey, so Azariah said they used that lie. We didn't feel pain. That's right. They used to always say that. They can't feel pain, so it don't matter what we do to them. Why are we the only nation of people on earth that don't feel nothing, right? What makes them think that? But you know why they think that? Because you know why they think that, honestly? Because we show that sometimes. We try to suppress our pain and our anguish. That's what I'm talking about. Right. You want to make it seem like none of that stuff ever affected you.
Right.
None of your affliction ever hurt you. So they literally think, oh, they don't feel nothing. Because you sitting there trying to be prideful and be tough and tough it out all the time. So they thinking, they don't feel it no way.
So
man, this is crazy. Go ahead, Ken.
It's kind of like in a way, like, you know, like in Genesis, how it mentioned that one will be stronger than the other, right? And and they know we are stronger, but like mocking us in that time of us being down. So like, nah, you know, they know deal with certain things and be stronger than them, and we can manage a lot more pain than them. So like, nah, he don't feel pain. Keep doing more. You know what I mean? Treat them in that. So everybody in that mindset, looking at us like, you know what? We could look at the tortures that they did to us, even when they was hanging us. Even when they was using chains and twisting the chains to jack our bodies up, the type of torture that they was doing to us back then, they could tell that was embedded in their mind frame. These people, I know that they're strong, but I'm gonna abuse them as much as I could while I have that chance.
That's right.
I'm gonna kick them while they're down. You know what I mean? That's why. Anyway, let me get this precept out real quick. This is Revelations 18:5. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and God has remembered her iniquities. Remember her even as she rewarded you, and double according to her works. In the cup which she had filled for her, fill to her double. So we're gonna give them double. Then you know what they bring out, King. I yield the floor.
The water for that precept. Y'all are bring out that Sirach 27-15.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 27, verse 15. The strife of the proud is bloodshedding, and their revelings are grievous to the ear.
Come on, break that down, okay?
We know that they're the proud. They love some strife, and they love shedding blood. That's exactly what they do. They get a hard off. They get off on shedding blood.
Right, they do. It's a sickness for them, man.
My bad. I'm just looking at him as like kind of, Lord's will I make it to the kingdom. I'm gonna knock his head off, dig his ass up, kill his ass again. I ain't lying.
No, that's what it is. You know, they psychopaths, man. The brother said it in the chat earlier. They psychopaths, man. Deranged individuals. They literally the sword. Can't wait to, as Barnabas was saying, kick you while you down, man. Brother literally sitting up there cutting the sister open 30 some odd times just to get it right, so he could perfect it and give it to his people to make sure his people could live strong and live better. But he don't give a damn if ours die. They gonna have to do it.
He started that at 17. There's no telling how much damage he actually did to that. So she probably wasn't even able to have kids after this. She couldn't. And with all that surgery being done to her, I guarantee you, with a man doing it, she didn't trust no men after that. At 17, she ain't trusting no man after that. Her love life is done. Her relationship with a bunch of people is over with at that point. Destroyed.
She's absolutely destroyed. But that's our people in a nutshell. Destroyed. They go through these traumatic experiences, and then they're destroyed after that. We saw the sister earlier say that she enjoyed slavery. Like she had a great time. Well, what was everybody else feeling that hated it and was getting their backs whipped? It was getting their children sold. But the sister Mary Anderson had a great time. It was Six Flags for her. She went back to the plantation. It was so fun for her, right? You gotta wake up, man. It's sick out here, man.
She was to that point where she was mentally broken all the way. You know what I mean? To the point where she forgot the struggle of it. You know what I mean? She just focusing on the fact that hey, they giving us, what the little handouts. You know what I mean? We custom with the crumbs. We love the crumbs. We don't want to sit at a table. You know what I mean? So she's showing that example right there.
Let me get that next slide, Adawan. Hey, you already want to read this for me, King?
Just talking about the concentration camps. In 1838, President Martin Van Buren ordered the U.S. Army to forcibly remove all members of the Cherokee Nation who had not complied with the Treaty of New Equata to move west. Nearly 5,000 Cherokee were held as prisoners at Fort Cass, many of whom died from disease due to unsanitary conditions. Those who survived prison would take part in the horrific forced migration known as the Trail of Tears. Scholars estimate nearly 5,000 Cherokee died on this journey, mainly due to being given blankets with smallpox. It has been estimated that 16,000 Cherokee were removed from their land.
Now,
sound familiar?
Sound familiar, right? And this talking about our Northern Kingdom family, right? And they always one thing I want to bring out is they always talk about concentration camps, the Holocaust, right? But what about this American Holocaust that our Northern and Southern Kingdom brothers and sisters experienced? You clearly see that these brothers was taking it to an encampment, which means they were enslaved. It means they were in prison, and they was in a concentration camp. Nearly 5,000 of them. Then those that were strong enough to survive had to endure the Trail of Tears. But they not going to talk to y'all about this. They going to only say, hey, only certain people have been in a concentration camp, and that happened nowhere in Germany and Europe, and you got to stop playing. It was Northern Kingdom and Southern Kingdom that's been in concentration camps in America. That's why it's up to us to do the research and figure that out. We had our own damn Holocaust over here. Millions of what the slide said earlier, almost 60 million of us died before we even got to the plantation. That's not a Holocaust. 60 million or 6 million. Think about that. And y'all know what I'm talking about. 60 million or 6 million. It don't even compare.
And then on top, Salaki,
Go ahead.
then on top of that, let's not even, those are the inflated numbers that they actually gave y'all, because if you really look at the census from that time with the so-called Holocaust, it wasn't even 6 million Jews in Auschwitz at the time, which is where the concentration camps were. It was barely, they said it was like 250,000. Stop playing. We know now. Like, who y'all fooling?
All right.
And then they'll tell you, well, remember the Holocaust. You better not say a damn thing about the Holocaust, but forget slavery. That shit was some years ago. Man, stop playing. This is not that, and that ain't this.
That's right. Hey, that's how upset you should be, though.
Bring it out, King.
We start thinking about all this, you supposed to be pissed off. Go ahead, King.
It's the book of Nahum, chapter 3 and verse 10. It says, yet was she carried away. She went into captivity. Her young children also were dashed in pieces at the top of the streets. And they cast lots for her honorable men. And all her great men were bound in chains. Don't this sound like the Trail of Tears?
Come on.
We didn't even put everything from the Trail of Tears in here. Sometimes when we started walking, if we were walking too slow, they would take a pregnant woman, they would turn her upside down, they would cut the baby out of her stomach, and they would dash the baby against the stones.
That's right.
Literally, they were chopping our heads off and kicking them through the streets like soccer balls. But what? You love Tanner, Bob, Connor, and Karen.
Yeah, that's right. Now, the thing is, we go to school and we grow up being indoctrinated by Esau, so they never tell our people, and then our people are lazy, so they don't want to ever figure it out. So they get the watered down history from their oppressor, and they cool with it.
And they accept.
That sounds good enough to me. So all they know is Martin Luther King was a good man. He got killed, and that's for history. That's Black history right there. Martin Luther King, he got killed. The end. And we good with that. Like, that sounds good enough. They're not taking their time to learn nothing. Go ahead, King.
Hey, can somebody get oppression makers a wise man mad? Because Tayshawn,
bring that out.
It's starting to annoy me a little bit.
Bring it out.
We shouldn't be angry, but we angry for a reason, Tayshawn. We're not just angry just to be angry. We angry for a reason.
I love you because of Christ. Hold on, Slock it. Christ coming to stump their ass out. What are you talking about?
It's okay. We don't gotta do all that.
It's not even just her. It's our people in general that had the same mentality. I'm not mad at you. I can't be mad at you for real, because you really don't know no better. Right. It's the rest of our people that got this. It's this bogus ass spirit that our people have. Yes, I'm mad. I'm just not mad at you, right?
That's right.
Dusty ass heathens in the fact they got us brainwashed.
Now prove it with the Bible.
That's right.
Book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7 and verse 7. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad.
Oppression does what?
Maketh a wise man mad.
It didn't say oppression make you calm and you understand the rest of the world so you can just forgive everybody. What did it say again?
Oppression maketh a wise man mad.
Shit, Tayshawn, we mad because we have been oppressed for 400 plus years. We angry. We understand what's happening with us. We looking at our history and we understand it. Yo, I'm not in a position where I can help my fucking nation. Excuse my language. I'm not in a position where I can turn things around. I can't guarantee that my kids are going to live to be 25 in this nation. I'm pissed. I'm mad. And if you don't like that we mad, I'm sorry that you're not feeling the same oppression that we are. But we are going to continue with our lesson, and we are going to keep learning about what got us here, so we don't have to keep dealing with this. So maybe I can teach my kids not to be mad like you want us to do. Keep going. My bad. I went up on the tyrant.
And a gift destroyeth the heart.
A gift destroyeth the heart. Oh my God. You know what I mean? Hey, Biden said he want to give you $1,400 in incentives. What you think that's for? It's a gift to make you less angry with them. Because guess what happened during the George Floyd protest? They started realizing, hey, niggas is starting to band together. These black folks are really starting to put their shit together.
Right.
So how do you stop these Negroes from coming together? Give them something that makes them want to go buy some Jordans. Give them something that makes them want to that makes them happy again. Hey, we can have a cookout now. We got $600 in the bank. Let's go. Hey, you go half on the ribs. I go half on the chicken. Hey, we can do this.
Right.
And now you're not angry anymore. Well, SOT is still angry. We're still pissed. We're still mad. Hey, we don't care how much money you give us. Esau, you can't get away. We don't care.
Hey, so
You gonna get it. Go ahead.
That's a fact.
To your point, I'm sick of this dusty ass equality speech. You know, my grandfather, he got beat within an inch of his life for trying to give a police officer the equality speech.
What?
He told the police officer, I put on my pants and I feed my family the same way you do. And you know what the police officer did? Beat his ass with a nightstick.
Right.
This
They don't care about you. Now, but you know what? We're not supposed to be mad though.
So now I'm supposed to love him. Stop playing. This ain't that.
Hey, we literally the only nation of people that everybody expect to be happy all the damn time. Don't never get upset about nothing. Don't have no feelings. Just sit there and take it, right? Why does every other nation have the opportunity to be upset? They had an opportunity to say, you know what? You disrespecting me. Let's go to war. Let's fight. Let's kill. Let's do whatever we got to do to maintain our respect and our culture. But as soon as we said, y'all wilding, y'all doing too much. That was in the past. Why y'all so angry? I know why y'all don't want us to be angry, because y'all fear our anger. Right. Guess what? The Most High gonna allow that spirit to really get on us one day, and ain't nothing you could do about it. Now you just dealing with some brothers who are pissed off right now, but wait till the Most High put that spirit on a lot of brothers on this planet, and see what you do then. Ain't nothing you could do about it.
So like the Barnabas, give me they are my balance. So that we can see. We ain't gonna be peaceful in that time anyway. You can sit here and scream peace, peace, peace all you want to, but when the Most High come back, when Yahweh Shah come back, guess what? Some of us gonna have a job to do, and that's gonna be to cut off some heads. It ain't gonna be no, I'm sorry, it wasn't me, it was my ancestors. Fuck that, it was you. We're cutting your head off for it. Thank you. You're gone. Go ahead and bring that out, Barnabas.
You say they are our enemies?
Huh?
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 10. It's like Sirach chapter 12, verse 10. Never trust thine enemies, for as iron rusted, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself.
Keep going.
Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust has not been altogether wiped away.
Esau ain't never gonna change. Go back to the top of that.
Never trust thine enemy.
Never trust Esau. Never. Never. It don't matter what he give you. It don't matter what he do. It don't matter what he say. So never trust Esau. Because Esau is the reason why we having this lesson right now. Esau is the one that put us in that situation. We can talk about the Hamites and everybody else. No other nation did what Esau did to us.
That's right.
And no other nation made a spectacle of what he did to us. Y'all gotta understand, Esau makes me 12 years later. I beat your ass. And there ain't nothing you can do about it. I literally took your kids and I made a film about it. Now what? Now what? But then the brother goes out his way to make a movie about Nat Turner, and they damn near put an end to his career.
Too much truth.
They damn near crucified this man. Now, with that being said, How the hell can you sit here and tell us, hey, be calm, don't be angry, don't get mad? How can you sit here and tell us that when every time I turn on my TV or I want to go stream a movie, I got to go through a whole list of movies like Antebellum, 12 Years a Slave, The Color Purple, Rosewood. I got to go through all these ones. Show something that's fucked up that might have my kids walking down the street going, yo, fuck Esau. So you know what I learned to do? I just play the movies that might have them saying fuck Esau. I tell them the truth. And I tell them the truth. Go ahead, King.
That's why they like this. Hold on, let me read this. Psalms 58 and 3 and 4.
Bring it up.
It says, "The wicked are estranged from the womb; they go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear." We can't make that up.
Right.
They're gonna tell you, nah, slavery wasn't that bad. Damn good and well it was. Y'all was hanging us. Y'all, if we even thought about trying to leave the plantation, if we looked like we want to leave, y'all was gonna hang us.
Right.
Y'all did shit like hang us from our thumbs. How about that? Y'all hung us upside down. If you really want to go into history, y'all the same Romans that crucified 500 of us a day. At least 500 of us a day for 5 years straight.
And
we got to get off of that.
Hey, Salakia King. If history wasn't so bad, why they try their best to always cover it up?
For real.
Because you can't trust them.
That's
for real, for real.
That's
hey, Barnabas, read Jeremiah 51 and 1 second. Oh, I had it right here. I was holding it. Jeremiah 51 and 20.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51, verse 20.
This for you, Tayshawn. This for you. But it's coming right here. Read that.
Thou art my battle axe.
What?
Thou art my battle axe.
Keep reading.
And weapons of war.
That's what the Most High said we gonna be in that day. Right now we fishermen, but in that day, read it again, King.
Khan, thou art my battle axe and weapons of war.
Axe. My job, the objective of a battle axe, the job of a battle axe is to destroy, cut off, maim, whatever it can do to harm the person in front of you. That's the job of a battle axe.
Right.
That's what I'm supposed to get ready to do. I'm going to get mad because one day I hope the Most High says, yo, go ahead, King. Do what you do. I know you mad. Go ahead. I want to see what you do. And he turned me loose.
Hold on.
Go ahead, King.
I got Zechariah 1 and verse 15. It says, "And I am very sore displeased with the heathen that are at ease. For I was but a little displeased, and they helped forward the affliction." We've been in the captivity 7 times. They didn't have to feed our babies to gators.
Right.
We've been in captivity 7 times. They didn't have to they didn't have to sell our kids for wine. They didn't have to forcefully rape our kids. They didn't have to take our men and make breeding farms. They didn't have to do any of that. We've been in captivity 6 times before that. Did any of the other nations do all of that which Esau has done? No, because Esau is going to take what they did. He's going to add his extra wicked ass twist to it.
Multiply it,
Right.
That's right.
Evils have multiplied on earth because of this nigga. He ain't even no nigga. He ain't black. He a base man.
Hey, Salakia. Let's move forward. Let's move forward.
Let's get back into Let's
move forward. My bad. Hold on. One more thing, Adawan. Just one more, because I'm eating up with Zeal right now. She said that we not going to be the ones to do something about it. So I got one more precept, and we can get back to the lesson.
Bring it out.
All right,
you know which one I'm going for. I'm going for this Ezekiel 25 and 14.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 25, verse 14.
Bring it out.
Salakia. And I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hands of my people Israel.
Hold on. Salaki. Hold on. Nah, that ain't just say that. Nah, I thought Most High was gonna do
Khan.
that. How he gonna get his get back?
And I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hands of my people Israel.
Oh, so
Bring
we
it
gonna get
out.
that get back too. We gonna get to put hands on them too. Oh, okay.
And they shall do in Edom according to mine anger and according to my fury. And they shall know my vengeance, saith the Lord God.
That's right.
So y'all need to do us dirty. We gonna get to stump their ears together. Lord's will, I'm there. I'm having fun. Niggas getting pumpkin heads. Straight like that.
He say pumpkin head.
Brother Matt. That's right. Hey, but honestly, no, Salaki, honestly though, if you're not pissed off about this, I don't know what's wrong with you. To be honest. So I don't have no problem with the brothers up here being passionate about this lesson, about our history, about everything that we've encountered in our lifetime, because they should be mad. So if you feel like you cool with it, something wrong with you, part of the problem, you love your oppressor and you love your oppression. That's as simple as that. So anybody saying, nah, you love this place. Like Naphtali just said, you love it here. Hashtag you love it here. You love your oppression, man. Stop playing.
Salakia.
Go ahead.
See, it's good that we have the zeal for this type of things, man, because we, as a history showed, that we have zeal for all kind of folly. You know what I mean? This is the type of stuff we should have the zeal for. We have the zeal for every bit of wickedness that we could do under the sun. You know what I mean? But when it comes to something when it's important to our people, we trying to pull that shoulder. You know what I mean? We don't want to hear that. We already got time for that.
That's right. But if it was time to go to the club or join a gang and shoot up the block, everybody be like, But we talk about the suffering of our people and how we tired of it, how we sick of it, and it's like, chill out. Go to the next slide, man. I can't believe people, bro, to be honest. Weird. Real life weirdos, man. Weird. That's all I can say.
Real life weirdos.
Real life weirdos, man. All right, here we go. This is a continuation slide from the last one with the concentration camp. It says the Devil's Punch Bowl. After the ending of the Civil War, an influx of newly freed slaves began to migrate into Natchez, Mississippi. The population of Negroes increased from 10,000 to 120,000. Union soldiers stationed nearby became upset with the increase of Negroes in the area and asked them to relocate. After the people refused, the soldiers decided to build a walled encampment to imprison the people. Local officials estimated in a year's time, nearly 20,000 people died to forced starvation and smallpox. The Union Army did not even allow the dead bodies to be removed. They would say, bury them where they drop. Now, don't this sound like a concentration camp to me? These people can't go nowhere. They wouldn't even let them leave.
So, Salaki, real quick, before you do that. Hey, Yawar, brothers asking for the last precept that you brought out.
What was it? Ezekiel 25:14? I don't know. I just kind of blanked out for a second. That blew me. Ezekiel 25:14 is Zechariah. It was Zechariah 1:14 and Ezekiel 25:14.
All right. Sorry, King. Go ahead.
Nah, you good. You good. No, we definitely want to make sure people getting that edification. So, the water for bringing that precept back out. But yeah, just think about this. They always talk about the Holocaust and concentration camps. We just showed Northern Kingdom in a concentration camp. Now you got Southern Kingdom in a concentration camp. 20,000 people died because they were starved to death, and they had diseases. And they would not even take the bodies outside to bury them. They burying them right where they die. That's how your enemies feel about you. You should be mad as hell. You should be pissed off. It should be hard to go to sleep tonight. Everybody should be going to sleep pissed off. Like, man, I can't even sleep. I'm disgusted. That's the type of mentality we need to have. That's why this lesson is called Remember Thy Affliction. Stop suppressing your damn feelings and your emotions. Trying to only remember the happy times. I'm remembering the sad times too. Those are the moments that make you too. I'll be damned if I keep allowing my nation to keep going through the same nonsense day after day, week after week. not trying to do my part, not trying to keep these laws, not trying to teach my family, people in the street. Y'all real life cowards out here, man. If you ain't doing this, you're a real life coward. If you ain't trying your best to be a better person and help your nation, what are you really doing? You waiting on Joe Biden to save you. That's what you're doing. While y'all out there dancing and celebrating, you got a new president. That president gonna do the same stuff the last president did, and the president before that did.
That's the same president that made the damn bill that called you a fucking super predator. That's the same person. He made a bill that called you a super predator. I don't know about y'all, but my father went to jail under that damn bill. Like, I grew up as a kid, part of my life with my father not being there because of that damn bill that Joe Biden fucking wrote. That's being honest. He literally locked up a lot of our damn fathers for shit that we did later on. Hey, do you realize that the amount of weed that some of our parents got locked up for, it's legal now?
Yeah.
It's legal now. You think they gonna let your dad out of jail for it though? Nope. Is Joe Biden going to say, oh, I'm gonna pardon him? No. But did Joe Biden say, yo, I don't want my kid, hey, my kid shouldn't be punished for being on opioids? Yeah, he did.
Right.
He did that. The same person that y'all was voting for, and hey, yo, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. I'm gonna tell y'all something. Excuse my language. Both of them are wicked. Both of them are wicked. They ain't finna do nothing. You're gonna get the same result out of them that you got out of Obama. They might make some more gay rights. They're gonna implement some stuff that allow Esau to inject you with whatever vaccine he want next time they go around, so you can't be like, no, I ain't doing it. And that's it. Joe Biden not finna change your life. He not finna change your world. He not finna make America great. He not finna do nothing. Joe Biden finna just slide on through. Hey, and I'm gonna be honest with you. That's if Joe Biden actually makes it these next 4 years. He might pass out from a stroke and not wake up. Just being honest.
Telling the truth. You telling the truth. Brothers ain't gonna realize until it's too late. These people ain't gonna do nothing for you. They have nothing for you. They don't have your best interest at hand at all. Like you said about all the other presidents. What have they done? They're gonna make sure they people sit right and you still be a nothing, a nobody, receiving nothing and looking stupid. And then you go sit there, and I see a lot of people, they got memes, people praying over Joe Biden and Donald Trump. What you praying for? They ain't finna do nothing for you. Right. But our people lost. They still think Obama did something. They're like, I love Barack. What did Barack do for you? What did Barack do for you? Nothing. What did any president do for you? Nothing.
Nah, he gave them niggas trap phones. He gave them
niggas trap phones. He gave them trap phones. He called them damn gay niggas. He gave them trap phones and gay rights. That's all he gave you.
Calling them track phones. Stop calling them track phones. They're Obama phones. We know that. If you're from the hood, it's Obama phones. That's not. He gave Obama phones out. That's a fact. The brother is really telling the truth right now. He gave the whole hood Obama phones with limited minutes. That's a fact.
Y'all see this? See this? As I said, there's a person in the chat right now that did 2 years under Biden's and Clinton's little policies. Y'all think this ain't nothing that just affected a small a portion of Israel? This affected almost all. I'm gonna go out there and say it's about 80% of us that are affected by it when you actually go look at it.
Right.
Whether you got locked up or you're the child of somebody that got locked up under this bill.
Precept.
Go ahead, King.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 42 and verse 22. But this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes, and they are hid in prison houses. They are for a prey, and none delivereth, for a spoil, and none saith restore. That's exactly what happened. Mass incarceration, right here prophesied in the Bible.
Bring it out. Salaki.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, King. I
got a precept to go with what you was what everyone was mentioning about earlier too, about how we keep relying on these people. It's talking about the better of the two evils. This is Lamentation 4 and 17.
Bring it
As for us, Our eyes as yet fail for our vain help. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that cannot save us. You know what I mean?
Right.
So this is something I was talking about this today. You know what I mean? Talking to a lady about voting. What was the point of voting? And like nobody could actually tell me. I keep asking this question. I cannot get an answer yet. What has any president has done for our people that we could say benefit us as a whole? I can't get one answer yet.
Right. That's
You're
why the
not gonna
curses
get
that we under is Salakia. The curses that we under is worse than any drug ever created, man. Any drug ever created is not worse than the curses that we dealing with, man. Because a
Bring it
lot of
out.
our
Bring it
brothers
out.
and sisters is suffering, man. Their entire life is a stumbling block for them. It's not just little things. Everything in life is a stumbling block for them, man. The curses is far worse than crack, meth, that dog food, heroin, if y'all don't know, that dog food, all of that. Because our people be losing their damn mind, man. They don't know what's going on. You got
Precept.
half of the people mad because we mad about our pain. Go ahead, Ken, bring that up, man.
This is Deuteronomy 28 and 28. The Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart. You know what I mean? And they shall grope at noonday, as the blind grope it in the dark. And thou shalt not prosper in thy ways, and thou shalt only be oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save thee. And that's how our people are. I'm walking around here and they want to act like they know everything. But when it comes to like you say, these curses are worse than any drug. You know what I
Man,
mean? So they cannot even shake this stuff, man.
right.
They
Can't
feel like
shake
they're
it.
smart, but they blinded.
Can't see anything. Go to the next slide, please. I'm just trying to get through so we can get to some of these visuals at the end. All right, we got the Dakota 38, right? It says in 1862, the Dakota Native American tribe waged war against the local settlers. This was largely due to the U.S. government not keeping their promises and their land being given away to settlers. After a long 6-week battle, the natives were defeated and over 300 were charged with their participation. The trials held were not conducted according to military law, and some of the trials lasted 5 minutes or less. President Abraham Lincoln approved of the execution of 38 natives for their actions. On December 26, 1862, the 38 men were all put to death by the way of hanging. Until this day, this is the largest single-day mass execution in U.S. history. Now, if y'all look at the picture, they literally made a special contraption to hang all these Northern Kingdom brothers at the same damn time. That's how wicked the mind of Esau is and your oppressor is. They made that just so they can hang everybody at the same time and for all the people to watch and see. Right. What has Ben Docile done for us? It hasn't done anything for us. I see that in the chat. Stop being so weak. This is literally your brothers preparing for death right here if you're looking at this picture. Right? Bring out the Habakkuk 1 and 4.
This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 1 and verse 4. Therefore the law is slacked, and judgment do never go forth. For the wicked do compass about the righteous, therefore wrong judgment proceeded.
That's right. Like I read in the slide. It says some of these brothers' trials didn't even last 5 minutes. How can you receive the proper trial if it's 5 minutes or less? What kind of information did they go over? What kind of lawyer did you have to fight for your freedom in 5 minutes? That literally means they went in there, they knew what they wanted to do, they said a couple words and said, all right, guilty, so these brothers can be killed. The laws was never created for us. The rules of this land was never created for us. That's what we got to start remembering. Only people that really supposed to have your back is your own nation. And sometimes we don't have each other's back. Because like we saw tonight, you're going to have half the people who like, yeah, I'm pissed off. I'm ready to ride. I'm ready to do something. I'm ready to become a better person and help. You're going to have somebody who's going to say, let's chill. Let's relax. We doing too much. Don't be too angry. Massa gonna see us angry. We don't want to make Massa mad. That's what you basically saying when you do that.
You know what my
You
response to
can't
that
wait
is?
to tap dance.
You know what my response to that is?
Go
Hey,
ahead,
turn down for what? For what? Why I need to be relaxed? For what? Esau don't relax. I ain't finna relax either. The minute I relax, I'm dead. The minute I stop caring about what Esau doing and I stop paying attention and I stop allowing myself to feel the feelings that I have, I'm dead. I'm dead to
That's
my nation.
right.
I'm dead to my people. I'm dead to my family. And I might as well just go out there and let Esau kill me in the street. I can't help my people. I don't feel what my people feel. So I gotta be angry. I gotta be angry and I gotta be concerned about what I'm seeing every day.
That's right.
Every day. We don't get a day off. We don't get a break. We gotta deal with this every day until Yahushua comes back and says, you know what? Go ahead and take care of this. And then after this, we can move forward.
God. Next slide, King.
Hold on, I got a precept.
Go ahead, King.
This is the book of Zechariah, chapter 11 and verse 5. It says, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. And they that sell them say, blessed be the Lord, for I am rich. And
Hey, go back to the top of that.
It says, whose possessors slay them.
They do what?
And
They
hold
do what?
themselves not guilty.
They slay you and they hold themselves not guilty. George Floyd, Sandra Bland, Mike Brown, Philando Castile, Trayvon Martin. How many more names do I got to name for you to understand that? Keep going, King.
And they that sell them say, blessed be the Lord, for I am rich.
You know, I talked to an Edomite at work today. You know what he said? Yo, you know what? Slavery was a business. That's all that it was. And the people that was enslaved, you know, you were product. So you can't really be mad at us for selling product. That's his mindset. I got rich off of selling you. Keep going, King.
For I am rich. Hold on, it says, blessed be the Lord, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not.
You got pastors in the church that teach you lies and they don't even care about telling you the truth. They don't got no pity for you. They pity you not. They don't care. And you living in this every day. And what I don't know if that was sister or brother. But we're gonna say Tayshawn was a sister until they correct us. They want us to be docile, but we living with people that don't care about us. So I'm supposed to live and act and respond in a way that says, you know what? It's okay. I'm fine. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get through this. Love is going to triumph at some point, and you're going to stop wanting to kill me. And then after I die, well, as I'm alive, I got to teach my son to do the same thing. And after I die, I got to expect him to be just as docile. And then the cycle keeps going and going and going. And guess what? 4 generations from now, our kids are still in this. Or we start understanding our heritage, go back to following the laws, statutes, and commandments, and remember our history, what they put us through, and we put it into this. We actually do something that causes the Most High to go, yo, they're not playing. It might actually be time to actually to make a move. Because the Most High is waiting on Israel. Yo, you got to get right. You got to get your spirit right. You got to understand who your enemy is first. Then you can change something. Go ahead, King. My bad. I keep going up.
No, you good. No. Hey, this one of those lessons. This one of these lessons. Out of one that this house supposed to come out. So hey, let it flow freely. Let me get the next slide though. We're gonna continue to move though, but brothers get passionate. I can't get mad at that. That's what it's about. So we got the Carlisle Indian School. It says the Carlisle Indian Industrial School was opened by the U.S. government in 1879. They deceived many natives by telling them the purpose of the school was to help educate their children. The real purpose was to force assimilation upon the natives. Those who attended to cut their hair, change their name, stop speaking their native language, and convert to Christianity. Anyone who refused would be disciplined. 186 children lost their life during their duration at the school. Their bodies were not allowed to be returned to their families and also received a Christian burial at the school cemetery, right? So that the kids literally died and they wouldn't even send their bodies back to their family. They forced them to be Christians. So basically they sent them there to believe in white Jesus. To not know their language. What that sound like? Basically to call themselves by words. Hey, don't you? We won't let you know what your language is, what your name is. They got these natives calling themselves by regular names like Tom and John, and they built a whole damn school to force these people to change their ways. Bring those precepts out, man.
Come, this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long. And there shall be no might in thine hand. Literally what happened.
That go for every slide. Almost every slide tonight. What might was in our hand in any of these events that we looked at tonight? These people, the natives in this slide, they literally sending their children thinking they're going to get a good education. They trying to be a trustworthy people. Just to find out that half of their children not even making it home alive. Or if they're coming back, they don't even remember who they were. They can't even speak their native language. They just full out assimilated. They Americans now, right? Get that Jeremiah 16:4.
Hold on, can I bring out the Psalms 83 and 2 and 4? Because when they
ahead.
changed their name, that was a real significant piece, because back then our names actually meant something, and they actually, like, you change the name of a child, you take away their heritage.
That's right. Bring it out.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 83 and verse 2. It says, for lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
Right. They built, and it's not the only school they built. Like everything the brother just brought out in the script happened in this scenario. They literally had a crafty council say, you know what, let's build a school to force assimilation on these natives. So they don't have any remembrance of who they were. They literally destroyed their whole identity within a few years. For those who actually even were alive to make it out of. They were never the same. Just like we have never been the same. A lot of people like us is walking around lost, having no idea what's going on. Where you come from, I don't know. That's what they want. They want you to be lost. They literally destroy us as a people. And we still walking around destroyed. Because guess what? We don't want to sit back and reflect on what happened to us. You want to get over it. So brothers always, I'm focusing on my future. I'm focusing on my future, man. I ain't worried about what happened to me. I'm worried about what happened to me. Because I know what happened to me back then affects me right now and will probably affect my future. So I need to start focusing on that, man. Stop playing and remember your affliction, man. Remember that hurt and that pain that you went through as an individual and that we went through as a nation. This is the time to do it. It's better late than never. To really start paying attention, to really start digging up this history. Because maybe you'll start having a little bit more respect for yourself too, if you knew who you were and who you belonged to. But you too busy playing damn 2K all day. PS5 came out, so we can't see y'all no more. Somebody stop hitting the block.
I'm hurt. I like playing my PlayStation, man. I really do.
You still putting in the work, Adam, but I'm just saying everybody's not doing it. Everybody's not doing that. Some people are too busy with the PS5 to pick up a damn book and figure out who they are, or tune into these lessons on Monday, Thursday, Fridays, and come to camp on Saturday. Their life is too busy, and then they want to sit back and wonder why their life is in shambles like that, man. What's going on with my people? Why we always on the bottom? If you just pick up a book and read, you might know.
Right.
This is
For
the book
real.
of this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 16, verse 4. They shall die of grievous deaths. They shall not be lamented, neither shall they be buried, but they shall be as dung upon the face of the earth, and they shall be consumed by the sword and by
Right.
famine, and
Right.
their carcasses shall be meat for the fowls of heaven and for the
You
beasts of the earth.
see right there, they didn't even get a proper burial. They buried them like Christians. Now we know the natives had their own way of burying their people, but they say, you know what, we're gonna bury them our way, and we're gonna bury them right here at the school. And we don't care what the family think about it, because guess what? We're in charge. What you gonna do about it? And that's the spirit of your oppressor. Well, what you gonna do about it? Because you ain't showed them no fight yet. Like we were saying earlier, you showed them that you got pride. So that you'll swallow your pride and go, you know what? I'm mad about that. But that's all I'm gonna be is mad. But it's gonna be mad on the inside. You're never gonna express it to them. You're gonna go in the house and you're gonna pout. And that's how Esau look at you. You're gonna go in the house and then you're gonna yell. But you ain't gonna say nothing to them. That's how they really look at you. Go ahead.
That's why they love to give us that praise of MLK. You know what I mean? That non-violent. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
we
Try to
gonna touch
push
on
that. They won't
we gonna
talk
touch
about
on that.
nothing else, but they talk about that. They stop at everything else. They don't talk about that last speech, nothing. They just talk about for nonviolent. That's to
They're
kind of
not
keep you
going to.
docile.
They're not going to. Con.
They killed MLK before he could get any more. If they had MLK that had the pull that he had, and he was able to get people the same way Malcolm was able to get, MLK had a following. Malcolm had a following. They already knew they wanted to knock off Malcolm.
Yeah, they
They
hate
already
that
knew
shit.
it. Already had a
They
plan.
hate that.
Because the whole purpose for COINTELPRO was to prevent the rise of a black messiah. So, and it's crazy because why would they be trying to prevent the rise of a black messiah unless they know who the messiah is come to? Think about it. So, with MLK, before he could even get to revolutionary, when they started realizing, they were like, oh no, we got to knock him out too. Because he didn't just have so-called blacks following him. He had Mexicans, white people. He had even some of their own people turning on them. So they had to knock him off. Rocky, y'all hear that feedback?
No, I don't hear it.
Sound like some
But no, you're right.
toys
You're
or
right.
guitar
You
or
speaking the truth. Y'all hear feedback? I don't hear it. Con. Let's go to the next slide, because after that we just got some visuals. I think this next one's the last one. Then we're gonna go through these visuals for the people. Okay, so we got 2 more slides. So we got Red Summer. It says in late winter to spring of 1919, race riots began to spiral out of control in the United States. There were 36 documented riots during that time period. A report conducted in October of 1919 by Dr. George Haynes found that 43 African Americans were killed. 16 individuals were hung, 8 were burned at the stake, and the others shot, right? That's why they call it Red Summer. It was nothing but bloodshed. And they were setting fire to all the cities at the time. Look, and if you look at this picture, I want y'all to really pay attention to this picture. They're literally stoning this brother. The one Edomite got a brick in his hand. The other one's already about to throw his. Look at that picture. He's literally getting stoned. You could tell he already bleeding because they already hit him before, but they clearly picked the bricks back up to hit him again. This is our reality, and this is our past, and this is our current present. You think that's not gonna happen right now? If they get mad enough, they catch you by yourself. You think they won't be hitting you with some bricks? You think they
Hey,
won't
low
hang
key,
you up?
low key, that might actually be why they put them bricks out. During the George Floyd protest. They might actually want to eat them, might throw them at you.
I'm just saying you can't put nothing past your enemy. You can't put nothing past somebody who showed you nothing but perpetuate hatred. But yet we continue to do it, but you're not supposed to. I'm like the scriptures say, I'm never trusting my enemy. They already showed us who they was so many times before for years. And we still trying to find a reason to be like, you know what? They ain't that bad.
Their track record is impeccable.
Right. Now, it's crazy how a lot of people don't even know about this, but they would demonize brothers for I know y'all done heard about the 1993 Watts riot.
You know?
Or the 90s Watts riots, when they repeatedly will show the brother smacking the Edomite with the brick. Like he threw it at him at point blank range and then laughed about it. Same way it looked like they finna do here. How many of y'all know about Red Summer?
Right. They ain't gonna tell you about it.
And
it's true.
Way more of us got killed than what happened to Esau. We was down there tearing up stores and stuff. Yeah, we did all of that. They were actually killing us, hanging us, burning us, shooting us. And they're gonna put that up and they're gonna demonize Jake. You see the hypocrisy and the caucasity of these devils?
Hey, Salakia, the Water Brother Sidney Watkins. We appreciate the donation.
Hey, the water. We appreciate that. No, but you're right though. Let's go to the next slide. I really want to get to these visuals. After this last slide. Because brothers and sisters need to deal with some of the photos they're gonna see after this last slide.
Hey, you see this, right? You see what the Adam one said?
That's a fact. Quick. That's right.
I know we got Christians in here watching this video.
they probably hitting thumbs down on that. I don't like.
You already know. You already know.
Lucky, they might be a drink. I don't see not one yet.
But hey, you know how it go. Hey, even if you do, we don't care. We bringing out the truth, man. We not here to lie to you. We just telling the truth. If you mad about the truth, something wrong with you. Truth hurts. That's what they say. Let me get that next slide that on.
Have I become your enemy because I tell you the truth?
Yeah, right.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 35 and verse 5. It says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end.
Salakia, can I get somebody in the chat to actually tell me what the word perpetual means? Just can anybody in the chat tell me what perpetual means before we go on?
Right. Naphtali. That's right. They bringing it out. Naphtali said ongoing.
I figured Naphtali would have been the first to answer.
See, everlasting, to go on forever in the same way. Unending. Ever. Yeah.
There you go. Keep going, kid. My bad. Go ahead.
No, you good. That was the end of that precept. I got Lamentations 4:18 and 19 too. And I really think it's fitting because of where this picture is taking place at. This precept is just fitting. This is the book of Lamentations, chapter 4, verse 18. It says, they hunt our steps that we cannot go in our streets. Our end is near. Our days are fulfilled, for our end is come. Our persecutors are swifter than the eagles of heaven. They pursued us upon the mountains. They laid wait for us in the wilderness.
Okay. Break it down, King.
So clearly, as we can see, they're at the bottom of some steps, stoning the brother. That's one. Two, that's literally what they'll do. They'll come in your house and kill you. Simple as that. It don't matter. You could be eating a bowl of ice cream, minding your business.
I was about to say, Botham Jean.
Mm-hmm.
You could be playing video games early in the wee hours of the morning with your nephew. You can be at home minding your business, and you can be defending your home, and you'll still get shot, and they'll still get held guiltless.
That's right.
They don't care. Now, it says our persecutors are swifter than the eagles of heaven, so we just gonna act like the national bird of this country. So we just gonna move past that part. Really?
They don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear that.
Hey, look. I gotta shout. Look at this. This is a great question.
That's a fact. Why is the photographer not stopped? Right. He had enough time to take the picture, right? Oh my God, they about to stone a black man. Let me take a picture real quick.
Right.
That's what they think about you. You listen.
Pause.
He probably
Pause for
sold
the
this
cause.
picture for about a good $400.
Yeah. Pause for the cause, man.
They feel they you know we less than animals to them, man. Brother had enough time to take a photo.
The guy that took this picture is probably the same spirit or the same. He probably the dude that was filming Ahmaud Arbery getting shot with that shotgun. That's probably if we go back, if you use scripture, that's probably the same spirit, bro. Let me just capture this in case they need to go down in history real quick.
Yeah, Esau got that spirit for real. They like to capture everything. Mm-hmm. Keep it for display later. That's for real. Let's go to the next slide. All right, and most of y'all know about this right here, the Tuskegee experiment. From 1932 to 1972, the United States Public Health Office pretended to offer free health care to African Americans in Tuskegee, Alabama. Instead of helping the people with their ailments, they were actually conducting a study of the effects of untreated syphilis. They infected over 600 individuals during this period of time. 100 people died due to complications, 28 from syphilis, 40 of their wives contracted the disease, and 19 of their children were born with congenital syphilis. The U.S. Public Health Office also performed the same experiment in Guatemala from 1946 to 1948, which left 83 people dead, right? So they did this to Northern and Southern Kingdom. That's why it was important for me to bring out certain situations tonight for those who think there's a difference. And brothers and sisters ain't who they are. Why they keep experiencing the same exact thing that we experiencing? Why we in concentration camps, they in concentration camps? Why we getting syphilis injected in us and they getting syphilis injected in us?
That's right.
Because they under these curses just like we are. And what y'all think they trying to do to us now with all these injections? Nothing is new under the sun. Get Psalms 55 and 21.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 55 and verse 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart.
Mm-hmm.
His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords.
Your enemy gonna tell you any and everything to try to get you to let your guard down. Hey, you know what? We're gonna try to help you. You got free health care. Whole time he trying to kill you. Yet you not being in your right mind. Like I said, these curses is worse than any drug ever created. You run it to him for him to help you when you know he can't stand you. He's only showed you year in and year out that I hate your guts. I hate you. I hate your mama. I hate your entire nation. But then you go. But as soon as they say, "Hey, we got free health care," what you do? Man, they got free health care. Just like what people talk about the phones. Hey, the Hamite giving out Obama phones. I might as well give one. Hey, everything that's free ain't good, man. It's just you sometimes you gotta laugh to keep from crying. I get it.
Nah, I'm sorry, because all I heard was I hate the back of your neck because it's black. I hate your gums because they black.
I hate your gums because they black. I hate Whoopi Goldberg's lip. Nah, but no folly. But to stay on task, like it's just real. Like they literally have a perpetuated hatred for you. The brother just brought the script out that said that, and we keep running to them. The people in Alabama thinking, "Oh, they finna help me." When have they helped you before? I'm honestly not looking for somebody who had my people in slavery to give me a handout or to do anything positive in my life. Why do we sit there and think that? Y'all block out everything that they did wrong and go, you know what? They do own Chick-fil-A though. Brother did start Chick-fil-A though, man. They did something right, man. So I'm just like that's what we do. We find any reason to say that's why we gonna deal with our oppressor. And you know what? I do love noodles, man. The noodles be fire when I put. It's cool. Like we just keep falling in the same damn trap day after day. We gotta wake up and do better. We really gotta do better, man. I'm really baffled half the time when I see us doing the same things. But like I said, the curses, worse than crack, man. Worse than heroin, worse than any drug that we can think about. And if we just would unite and keep these law, statutes, and commandments, you know, Yahweh will be merciful enough to send his son back to come redeem some of us.
That's right.
But y'all rather party, like the Adawan said earlier, listen to WAP, twerk, smoke backwoods. Snitch. A lot of y'all out there snitching. You're snitching on your brother, telling, work with the police. Y'all doing everything we don't got time for. We trying to build a nation up, and y'all playing.
Salaki.
That's just real fact.
Excellent point. Niggas would be quick to kill their own brother, but nice as hell with the police. Y'all bogus. Y'all over bogus.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all bogus as hell. I just want y'all to know that. I don't care if you think you tough. I don't care if you the gang banging this nigga in the world. If you rather kill your own brother, somebody that look like you that's going through the exact same thing with you, and you nice as hell and you ain't keeping that same energy with the police, you sweet.
Now hold on. Now hold on. Since you said that, now you gotta answer this. Is it wrong to hate Esau?
No, it's not. That nigga hate me.
Prove it with the scripture.
Con. Hey, Naphtali, you funny. He said we keep finding ways to invite them to the cookout. He is not lying.
Right. They would have had a field day picking the nigga and lynching him. Y'all better look up where the word picnic came from.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
Pick a nigga.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 9. Go ahead.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 139 and verse 21.
Mm-hmm.
It says, do not I hate them, O Lord, that hate thee, and am not I grieved with those that rise up against thee? I hate them with perfect hatred. I count them my enemies. Do I not hate those that hate my pops? Yes, I call them niggas my ops.
That brother,
hey, the scripture said it all. That's right.
That brother got into it too. He got into that scripture, man. He might be a little upset right now. He might be a little upset right now. You know what I'm saying? I guess Tayshawn decided they was done. They like how we dealt with it. But hey, Tayshawn, if you still watching, we still angry. We ain't let it go yet.
Yeah, brothers is upset.
Yeah, it ain't gonna change. It ain't gonna change. Continue. Finish out your lesson, Art. Go ahead and finish out.
Yeah. So that's literally the last slide with the knowledge on it. But I do want I don't want to go through these next several slides, and it's just visuals. I want y'all to really sit back and put yourself in these shoes, man, and really just see these visuals of what our people were enduring and still currently enduring. So y'all remember seriously remember these afflictions that we go through. So go through the pictures, King. Look, slavery at its finest on the cotton field, picking cotton.
Yo, while you was doing this, while you was actually picking this cotton, there's another brother on the side that's creating the cotton gin in slavery.
Mm-hmm.
That's for all the Edomites that want to say, oh yeah, niggas is only good for playing basketball and jumping high and running fast. Nigga, we was inventing stuff while you had us in captivity. While you was working us to death, we was figuring out ways, how the fuck can we not have to pull all these damn seeds out of this cotton?
Right.
If any of y'all are familiar with picking and cotton, I'm from South Georgia. I'm just be honest with y'all. I'm from South Georgia. I had a cotton field behind my house growing up, and I would just go pull the cotton balls out of there. It is not easy to take them seeds out of that cotton. It ain't easy. So the creation of the cotton gin, you don't know how much that actually helped your people. That was a lot of a lot of work, man. That was a lot of work. And a brother created cotton gin in slavery. While he was he's probably picking cotton like
got tired of it.
You know what? When I get to the house, I'm gonna get some shoestrings and I'm gonna run the cotton through it and see if it pulls. Oh shit, it worked. Let me figure out how to. I'm gonna wind this up. All right, cool. Now I got some. And I guarantee you, when he did that, what did his slave master do? Oh, I'm gonna get paid for this.
Exactly. Steal it. Steal the idea. Steal the invention. As usual.
I'm getting paid.
Right.
That's right. Hey, Mike Kelly said, yo, cotton got barbs in it. Cotton got thorns in it for real. It will cut your fingers easily.
Come on. That's why, look, just slavery alone should be enough to piss you off, to be honest. But we've endured 7 captivities. And it seemed like half of us is still kind of on the fence, trying to figure out if they want to be mad about something. Next slide, King. So like Israel, King, get it together.
King had to step away real quick, so you know what I'm saying. Just talk to Israel until he come back real quick.
Oh yeah, come
Israel, I put a 7 in the chat if you feeling edified. If you feel like you're following what we're saying. We really want y'all to get it and understand. We want y'all to actually see where we're coming from. This wasn't an easy thing that your ancestors went through.
Right.
And, you know what I'm saying? If you understand the teaching like SOT, we believe in regeneration. So there's a good portion of y'all that might have actually been going through this. All right? It's you out here in the cotton field. There's a good portion of y'all that's out here with your fingers bleeding. As we brought up earlier, there's a portion of y'all that's literally sitting there watching. See, the op was nice when he did this. He was nice when he brought this up. He said that the slave master took your wife back to his house. Nah, man. There's a good portion of y'all where the slave master came into your house and raped your woman in your bed.
That's a fact.
You straight up had to watch it in your house. Now that changes the whole dynamic. You can't escape that. See, if he did it in his house, you didn't have to see his room. You only had to look at your rib. But then when you see your rib laying in your bed that she got raped in, that's different. And there are Jakes that watch their rib get raped, and instead of him going, yo, the slave master is evil, he mad at her. He pissed at her. He don't know how to process his hurt and his anger, so he take it out on her. Now imagine how many Eves had to deal with that. I get raped by my master, my slave master, and then my husband hates me for it.
Right, that's right.
And you wonder why Eve has such a disdain for Jake. There's a portion of Jake that got mad at Eve for being raped. Let's just be honest with this. Let's be honest with it all the way. Before we sit here and get mad at everybody else, let's be honest with what Jake had to deal with and what he did. That's just straight up. Go ahead with this slide. He back, so go ahead with your slides, King.
Oh yeah, next slide, man. I don't want to bring it out, man.
I got you. Hold on 1 second. Yeah. And there you go.
Look at this. Got a young boy that got 2 German shepherds on him, and look at Jake in the back just looking, not even attempting to help. And that's our people right there in the slumber. Everybody watching, but nobody helping.
I don't want it to happen to me.
What'd you say, King?
He looking like I don't want it to happen to me.
Exactly, man. Typical mindset of Jake. Man, glad that's not me. Feel bad for you,
right,
but glad it's not me. Everybody standing, but look at how many men in this picture just looking to see what happened, but don't nobody want to help. Clearly, all of those so-called blacks outside outnumber them few cops that we see. But guess what? All of them are afraid and weak. They don't want nothing to happen to them. They don't want to get hit. They don't want to get bit by a dog. They don't want to spend the night in jail. So what they do? They turn the blind eye like they never saw it. Like we've been saying all night, brothers suppress everything they seen into the back of their mind like it never happened. That's crazy.
Hey, look. The angriest person in this picture seems to be Eve standing behind the cop.
Right.
She look like the angriest one. Like, what the fuck is this? Jake standing next to her. He still got a smirk on his face. Like, oh shit, they pulled the dogs out. Right. Hey, he not looking like it's a situation or a problem. He looking like, oh, they brought the dogs. Okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? Sorry.
Yeah, he not because Adam is not him. He like, man, that's crazy. That's Jake mindset.
Right.
Man, that's wild.
But you see what Adam says?
Let me keep it pushing.
What is he supposed to do? They brought dogs to bite him. What is he supposed to do? If he fights the dog, like we seen this recently, he kills the dog, you kill the police officer, now you going to jail.
Right.
So what he got to do? He got to stand there, be held, bit, take it, and then I'm on the Channel 5 news afterwards. I didn't like that dog bite me. I'm sorry. I didn't appreciate y'all getting that dog bite me.
Salaki, imagine the mental situation he's dealing with at the same time. Like you sitting there, got somebody holding you so you can get bit. Like the other one said, you can't run, you can't fight the dog back. Then you watch everybody that look just like you stand and watch. And
standing there.
I'm mentally scarred if I'm this young brother in this situation.
Yo,
I'm watching everybody that look like me watch. Crazy.
I might actually have more of a disdain for Jake than I do Esau in that situation because you like me. We're fighting for the same cause and you let it happen to me, man. You're not trying to save me. I'm out here fighting for you.
That's right.
And you let this happen to me. Now I can see where some of the coons probably start popping up with some of those that, oh man, hey Jake, hey, you know what I'm saying? Jake didn't want to help me, so fuck him. I'm on Esau's side now.
So next slide. We gonna go through, man. I just want y'all to see these visuals, man. Put yourself in these situations.
Oh my bad.
This slide about to cause a riot.
Yeah. Y'all are.
That's right.
Next slide.
That shit got me mad. I don't want to talk.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
Oh.
See all these police? This a old school pictures from like the it's like from like 1917, I believe.
Stop lying. That's a George Floyd riot.
But look, all this is everybody that's getting beat down with those batons you seen is Jakes and Eves. They putting work on them, putting in extra work to beat them down. This is how they feel about you, right? But you want to suppress that feeling. You don't want to think about it. You rather go to work and be whatever. We ain't go through that much. Look at this, bro. This is unbelievable. When have you ever seen a group of Asians get beat down like this in America?
Yeah, but they get they get Japanese get reparations though. So you know what I'm saying?
Of course.
And clearly they had to go through something.
Yeah, they tell Jake to take the ass whooping and like it. Keep it moving. Right, next slide. I just want, like I said, we just giving y'all visuals. This Black Wall Street right here, prominent city. So-called Negro doing a thing, all independently ran. Affluent neighborhood, affluent city where they making a lot of money. Guess what happened? Esau set it on fire.
This is the epitome of haterism. Like, this is black excellence at its finest. And white people were looking at it going, I don't like that shit. Like, y'all remember in Bel-
Hey.
Y'all remember, hey, mute your phone, Barnabas. Hey, y'all remember in Belly when the brother had the banana? He was like, I don't like that shit. I don't like that
I don't like that shit. I don't like that shit at all.
shit. That's what black poetry is. White people going, I don't like that shit. I don't like that shit. They got buses, they got schools, they got hospitals, they got everything that we got. And you know what's sad about this? Even when you go into the 50s and the 60s, you look at the civil rights movement. When you actually go back and you study and you look at what Jake actually had in that situation, they wanted to be joined to the white man, but Jake was the one actually doing all the maintenance on, guess what? The white man's water fountain, the white man's restaurant, the white man's cars. Jake is the one working on all this shit and making it look glamorous for you. Why don't you just employ Jake to make Jake's stuff as glamorous as Esau's?
Curse.
No, you have to follow behind Martin Luther King and join in with them because guess what? Martin Luther King, there's no secret.
He had a dream. Go ahead.
He had a dream. He had a dream that maybe him and these white girls can fuck together. I mean, my bad. Maybe him and his kids can hold hands with other black kids and white kids. And no. Martin Luther King's dream was with certain people. And then, he realized, they're not going to accept me like that. So I may have integrated you into a burnout.
God. Next slide. You're right.
I just don't understand, like, how in the hell can we possibly trust a nation that said all men created equal at the same time you niggas 3/5 of a person? Bro. Like, y'all ain't never thought about that? This is what they thought of you.
What is this? Keep going with the next slide. Hold on, my bad. I got you. There you go.
The brother literally got a yoke of iron around his neck. Am I lying?
Nah.
I got you right here. Precept.
Bring it up.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28. Hold on, Salakia.
This is the cursings brought to life right now in the photo. If you ain't never seen one, here's one right here. Brother literally got yokes of iron around his neck.
Right.
I can't stand them.
But you're not the children of the book, though.
What, 48?
Yeah, I got 48. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
Exactly. The brother literally, that's a yoke of iron. We can't make this up. We can't make this up at all. Next slide. We're going to keep it moving.
Just when y'all get a chance, Google yoke of iron and see who pop up.
Salaki, right here. This is a picture of Martin Luther King right after he got shot, right? And the reason I brought this up is because this is the picture they don't want to show you. They show him standing in Washington, D.C. after he did the I Have a Dream speech. They give you all the passionate speeches he had about us integrating and being nonviolent, but they don't want to show you what they did to him. They just gave you a day off the other day to celebrate his birthday, but yet they keep forgetting to remind you every year that they killed him.
Right. Because
they're the reason you had the day off.
I had to say that at work. I'm at work on Martin Luther King Day, and everyone was like, "Yeah, this is what Martin Luther King died for equality." No, this is what he got killed for. They shot him for this. They shot him because he started understanding, maybe my people shouldn't be dealing with these motherfuckers. Maybe my people should be in their own situation of uplifting themselves. My bad, King. Go ahead.
Now you're good. You was definitely doing your thing. I'm saying they literally got you out here celebrating the day of his birth, but completely not telling you that, hey, you know what? We the reason why you have to celebrate that day because we killed them. I mean, so you're welcome. That's basically what they're doing, but they're not saying it, man. Next slide. Wicked. Look at his brother's back. Y'all probably seen this picture before. Imagine what he had to endure during slavery. Imagine how many times his back had been busted open by that whip. It don't even matter what he did. He could have did something good or bad, but who's the judge of that? Because you got your oppressor over you, so he could have just did anything. He could have been moving too slow. He could have said something that his master didn't like. He could have got sick and couldn't work, and his master beat him. Look, just look at his back, though. Look how many of y'all could actually endure that? Imagine how many lashes he actually took and how long that actually took to heal. But we want to sit back and forget our past, right? It's in the past. Let's forget about it. When I think about my past, this is the type of stuff I think about. It's a dishonor to your ancestors when you don't get passionate about what they experienced. When you want to be docile and you want to be quiet, you want to be a chained up pup instead of being a ferocious lion. It's an embarrassment to everything and everybody that came before you. Next slide, King. Hosing you down in Birmingham. This the Birmingham Fire Department, Civil Rights era. Hosing the people down, man. Y'all know how high powered that water hose is? How much pressure is coming out of that? That can literally blow you down the street, as you can see. But y'all don't want to remember this. Anybody got something to say?
They gonna get double. Lord's will, we got superpowers. We don't even need a hose. We just gonna fire.
But Salakia, King, look at the picture and look at the brothers across the street. Just looking. Again, Jake on standby, just watching his people suffer. Even though we can clearly tell there's more of them, there's more Jakes outside than it is the Edomites who are on the fire department. But guess what he gonna do? They gonna watch. Glad it ain't me. I wonder what those brothers did to get the water hose pulled out on them. That's how they literally think. Next slide.
But let you see your op across the street.
We had to bring this up, man. This is a gruesome picture, and we got a few more horrific pictures, but we just gotta be real with y'all. This Emmett Till, y'all, a lot of y'all already know the story of Emmett Till, but look at how they did the young brother. They shot him, maimed him, buried him. And look how he looked, man. That's how his mother had to bury him. So he had an open casket so the whole world can see how they did her son. That's how they do your people. You need to remember this. Brother didn't even get to enjoy his full life. It was cut short off a lie. Woman came out a few years ago and said, yeah, I lied. What happened to her? Nothing. The guys that did this walk free because the law is not made for us. This is a horrible picture to see, man. It's a horrible sight to see, man. This is one of your brothers. Could have been one. If you was alive in that time, this could have been your child. This could have been your son. How do you feel, man? Next slide, man.
Salaki, hold on.
Go ahead, King, bring it up.
Yeah, they want to say forget about all that happened back then. Just to keep us in the time frame. This is after the Holocaust. The same Holocaust y'all say remember.
That's right.
And you better not say nothing about that Holocaust or they on your ass.
Right.
But let us bring this up. Get over it. That was a long time ago. You know how
right. They just don't want us. Now you good. They just don't want us to remember anything. They don't care about people remembering things. They just don't want the nation of Israel to remember anything. Next slide, man. It's tragic, man. Look at the brother, man. This gruesome. I told you it'd get horrific, but this is what. Look at the smiles on their faces in the back. This another young brother. They didn't cut him open. They hung him first. Then they set him off. They tied his arms behind his back and set him on fire. But y'all don't want to sit back and reflect on this kind of stuff. Y'all rather just go to work and get over it. Man, I know, we've encountered a lot of stuff. We endured a lot of stuff, but you know what I'm saying? We good. Now we not good. This should be in our mind every day moving forward from now on. Think about the kind of stuff that your people had to go through. Imagine if you was just every male that's watching this right now. Imagine if this was you. And you was taken, tied up, hung, and then they set you on fire and literally made a spectacle out of you. It's so many people in the back smiling. You got the little kid trying to get a peek. He said he can't even get close enough to see. He want to see so bad. And this is what they do. Go ahead, King. Next slide.
They used to give us tar baths.
And it's just the work side of the page. You can take the PowerPoint down.
Salakia, that last picture that you just showed, that every time I see that picture, man, I get a tear in my eye for that brother. To die, this brother, the last thing that brother saw was a crowd of Edomites laughing at him.
Right.
That's the last thing he saw, man, before he died. A bunch of Edomites happy that he's dying. Right. I would have to go to the Most High and be like, yo, please send me back so I can kill every last one of them motherfuckers. All of them. Please. I know I was wicked a couple times, but can I at least go back and take care of them niggas? That's the oppression we were talking about earlier that makes you mad. That's it encoded in our DNA, man. That's the reason why we have Stockholm Syndrome today. It is because we watched that shit and we understood. Like, you got to understand, Israel had a portion of us that understood. Yo, we cannot escape this oppression. I need to join hands with him to keep him from doing that to me. That's the game they played with Eve. They made Eve go, if I join the oppressor's side, he won't kill my kids. He won't touch my children if I actually sleep with him and make him think that I want to do it.
That's right.
But we out of that time. We're out of that era. We're in the reflection time now so that we can be better than that. We're at the point now where we're remembering our past, remembering our history, remembering everything that came, that was brought upon us, and we're going to move to a point now because we understand who we are as a group of people. We know we're Yasharal now. Everybody on this live now understands who we are, where we come from, and what is set forth for us. Now, we're no longer going to sit here and go, well, woe is me. We went through this. No, we're going to go, this is what happened to us. This is what you got to pay. This is what you got to do now. Now you got to take what you're seeing right now. Now you got to go back, look at it and say, well, for this, I would set this price. This is what you got to pay for that. You got to set that. You got to take that mind state now. What's the price for what you did? And Esau got to pay the price. And guess who already set the tab? All you just going to be doing, you like the calculator. That's all you going to do. But the Most High already set the set number, the price already. Because he told them they can't go past a certain point with what they do with us. And they far exceeded that number. So now you're at the point, your responsibility is understand it, know how you got put in that situation, come back to the law, statutes, and commandments, do what you're supposed to do, follow these laws. And then in turn, as you follow these laws righteously, guess what Esau's going to start doing? Yo, why Why don't you follow my holidays no more? What? You don't want this pork? Oh, you don't want this? Okay. Wait. So you're not going to teach your daughter to twerk? I was enjoying your daughter twerking. Damn. Wait, you're not going to teach your son to be a sodomite? Why not? Oh, you're teaching your son to be a king in SOT. Why are you teaching your son to be a king in SOT? What does Sons of Thunder bring to you? And that's when your son stands up and says, I learned how to be a real man. I learned how to control my spirit. I learned how to deal with my enemy on the proper level. I know when to agree with him and when to tell him he's out of pocket. And those are only things you're going to find in the Bible and dealing with a camp like SOT. It's the only places you're going to get that. Your Christian church is not going to teach you how to deal with oppression. It's going to teach you to love your oppressor. The Catholic Church is going to tell you to bow down and do this and Mary, Mother of Grace. And then you're still going to be wicked. The church is going to baptize you in water and you're going to come up still as a sodomite. So where did this sodomy come from? Where did it start? It started in slavery and oppression. You was getting raped as a man by your slave owner. There's always that one weak brother that's like, oh, that didn't feel that bad. I mean, you can deal with that. There's always that one. But then there's a brother like me that's like, nah, I mean, that shit was horrible. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm cutting him, you, and everybody else that wants to remind me of that shit. And as a people, Israel, you've got to get to the point where it's no longer acceptable for us to go through this. Can't be acceptable anymore. Y'all look like he got something on his brain.
He probably reading the chat.
Figure it out, King.
I just want to stomp ears together. I ain't gonna hold you. Like, I'm dead ass. Like, clap y'all ears together. And for those of y'all that know what that means, I said what I said. I really want like stump their ears together.
Hey, you should be upset, but I'm gonna say this. That's the end of the lesson. So the water for y'all tuning in and listening to the lesson. I want to thank Adawan Benaiah, Soldier Yawar, and Soldier Barnabas for participating and helping me out, man. Brothers really was on fire tonight. We had a reason to be upset, man. We had to sit back and reflect on a lot of history. You got to think about this. This kind of lesson, you can do this lesson every night forever because we've had that much done to us. That could be a part 2, 3, part 3,000. We ain't even scratched the surface of some of the things that we endured and we continue to endure. That's a fact. So, but we just hope y'all was edified. What is it? Stall him out. He's so funny, man. So like, we hope y'all was edified, and if y'all got any questions related to the lesson, y'all could ask them in the chat real quick.
Questions related to the lesson first, and then we'll field anything after that. No? Nobody has any questions. Listen, when we ask if y'all have questions, this is y'all time, Israel. You don't always get a chance. Question and answer. Friday is really congested, so it's your time to be able to ask questions. But we're not going to force you to ask any questions. We have lives too. We're ready to get off and go to sleep and get ready with our newborn babies and all that. We don't mind.
I do want to say one more thing. Yeah, my son gonna put his foot on y'all neck too. I'm definitely gonna make sure he know to stump y'all ears together too. Yeah, a waffle of babble. destruction to Babylon, death to America, death to the daughter of Babylon, death to the heathen. Yeah, all right, I'm cool. Okay.
Iron Lion said, "Can you please read 2 Maccabees 8:17 through 18?"
Come on.
And while we're getting it, Iron Lion, why do you want that read?
Come on, this is the book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 8 and verse 17. It says, and to set before their eyes the injury that they had unjustly done to the holy place, and the cruel handling of the city where they made a mockery, but also the taking away of the government of their forefathers. For they said, he trust in their weapons and boldness, but our confidence is in the Almighty God, who at a beck can cast down both them that come against us and also all the world.
Woo. All right, never mind. I know why you wanted it read now. I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, start from the top. Read it again.
Death to Babylon. One more time.
Read it one more time, Mark.
The book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 8 and verse 17. It says, and to set before their eyes the injury that they had unjustly done to the holy place, and the cruel handling of the city, whereof they made a mockery, and also the taking away of the government of their forefathers.
Yo, they literally destroyed your people and took away everything that you had that governs your nation. And then after they took it away, they built their nation off of the premise of what you used to have. If you think about it, the court, what is it called? The judicial system. All right? They took everything that you had and they incorporated it into their own life. Much like the Greeks and the Romans, they took everything that they could find in Egypt and they incorporated it in one way, shape, or fashion. And they did the same thing with Israel. Keep going, King.
For they said he, trust in their weapons and boldness, but our confidence is in the Almighty God.
Our confidence is in what?
The Almighty God.
What? Wait. We got to get more guns, and then we can take the Edomites on. Read it again.
But our confidence is in the Almighty God.
Nah, we can box. We can go toe to toe with them and box with them, and we gonna win. Read it again.
But our confidence is in the Almighty God.
No. Our confidence is in the fact that Black women are leading this nation in college graduates. So they're eventually going to become a majority in the Senate, and then we're going to be able to take stuff over. Read it again.
But our confidence is in the Almighty God.
Keep going.
Who at a beck can cast down both them that come against us.
You can cast down them that come against us, and who else?
And also all the world.
Wow. So he can cast down them that come against us and the rest of the world, which is probably coming against us as well. So the Most High has the power to establish people on this earth, because let's not forget what we read earlier. We're the battle axe. We're the ones that's actually doing the work. So the Most High can establish people in Israel to set forth works that will destroy Esau's kingdom. But in order for that to happen, and for us to do that, you got to come back to the law, statutes, and commandments as a nation. It's a must. It's mandatory. You don't do that, we have no victory. I ain't gonna say that. We're eventually going to have a victory. You're just prolonging the victory. That's it. All right. Is there any other questions besides that? See anything else? I'm gonna give y'all a couple more minutes. And brothers is getting sleepy. We getting tired. You know, it's been a long day for me. So you know what I'm saying, I'm running on my own fumes right now. It's been a trying day. Esau gives me no breaks, as I'm sure many of y'all feel. Hey, Iron Lion 144 said one more precept. Hey, look. Love the zeal.
Respect.
One more precept. Hey, that's how we are. That's how we are, man. It usually one more precept. One more.
You want that battle?
But if nobody else has anything, he said Jeremiah 51 and 20. We'll get it.
Somebody bring it out for the king.
Let's read it real quick.
I got Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse 20. Thou art my battle axe and weapons of war.
You my what?
My battle axe and weapons of war.
Yo, you're the weapon of destruction for Esau. You not the pillow. You not supposed to be holding his hand. You not supposed to be accepting everything. It ain't well, God loves everybody. And so since God loves everybody, I love him and he gets to make it into the kingdom. Read it again.
Thou art my battle axe and weapons of war.
You are the person that's going to destroy another nation. Keep going.
For with thee will I break in pieces the nations.
Keep going.
And with thee will I destroy kingdoms.
Destroy kingdoms, not one kingdom, kingdoms, multiple kingdoms. That means Esau, Moab, Ammon, Gog and Magog, Philistines. You're gonna be destroying all the kingdoms. Is there any more on that?
Nah, that's it. But hold on, because Hood Kid, I'm pro-black, who I really think is Tayshawn.
I knew you was gonna do that. I knew you was.
I really feel like Tayshawn just changed the name and said Hood Kid, I'm black. So,
yeah. I knew he was gonna do that. That's why I just started laughing. Like, this is the last one.
Nah, because we got to deal with that. She said, all right, but I say to you, love your enemies, bless those who curse you, do good to those who hate you, and pray for those who spitefully use you and persecute you. I guess she thought we was going to be confounded. Or he thought we was going to, I don't know who you are. Because you never classified your gender. You just be an agent. Folks be ops. I mean, cops. I mean, ops. But since that's what we on. All right, cool. Well, we're gonna go to Matthew chapter 10 and verse 36. We're gonna see who those enemies are.
You said Matthew what?
10 and 36.
Matthew 10 and 36. I'll read for you.
So we build up. Make sure you stay for the answer too.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 36. And a man's foes shall be they of his own household.
Now, I'm pretty sure the word foes is a synonym for enemies, right? So, can you read that one more time?
A man's foes shall be they of his own household.
Of his own household. His brothers, his sisters, his mother, his father, his kinfolks. In other words, those are the enemies the Most High is telling us to forgive. Because why would he say this in Luke chapter? Can you grab Luke chapter 1 and verse 68?
Luke 1 and 68. King.
So we got to make this make sense.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 1, verse 68. Blessed be the Lord God of Israel, for he hath visited and redeemed his people.
Whose people?
His people.
That sounds real possessive. That don't sound like everybody. Can you read verse 69?
Verse 69. And hath raised up an horn of salvation for us in the house of his servant David.
A horn, in this case, is Hebrew speaks for like a powerful leader. He's going to raise up a powerful leader that's going to be a savior unto the nation of Israel. The same way Moses was a savior, the same way Joshua was a savior, the same way David was a savior, the
That's
same
right.
way Nehemiah and Ezra were saviors. Keep reading. Bible Kashar.
Verse 70. And he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began.
Keep reading.
Come. That we should be saved from our enemies and from the hand of all that hate us.
That we should be saved from who?
From our enemies and all that hate us.
But nah, I thought he said love your enemies, unless those ain't the same ops that he was talking about in the first place.
That we should be saved from all our enemies and from the hand of all that hate us.
Can you grab me one more scripture? Because we just finna hammer this point home. Revelation 13 and 9 and 10.
Revelations 13, 9, and 10. I got you. This is the book of Revelations, chapter 13, verse 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. Verse 10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword.
That's right. So name one nation that didn't take us into captivity. Egypt, Assyria, Babylon,
right,
Persia, Greece, Rome. So how is it that you just so happen to have Stockholm syndrome and you want to save everybody? You tell me that. But it's cool because you pro-black. I'm pro-Israel. I don't care about none of that. We come in all shades. So you being pro-black could also mean you pro-ham. Because they black too.
Right.
You can be pro-Elam because it's Elamites that I work with that's darker than me. It's Elamites that I work with that's darker than Benaiah. But we call black. You got to think about that. They can still be considered black. Just off of how they look.
It's Ishmaelites that look like that too.
Yeah. But nah, you know what the scripture said. It says, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. It also said, if any man have an ear, let him hear. Now I assume you got 2 ears on you. So it's not talking about that. It's talking about if you got spiritual ears or if you got understanding.
Bring that out.
But I yield. That's it.
All right. So with that, hey, look, Israel, it's been a great build tonight. We had a good time, man. As you can see by the look on Iron's face, it is there was work put in tonight, man, and we hope y'all were edified and y'all understood where we were coming from with this. It's the last thing we want is for Israel to feel like, you know, we kind of put them out there on a ledge. Nah, we want y'all to go back, look at your history. Think about it for a second. Think about what you've been through. Think about what your ancestors been through. Think about what the Bible said, what the Most High said we were going to have to deal with, and then look at what we actually dealt with. And then he said, yo, oppression maketh a wise man mad. So now you got to go back and go, am I oppressed? Am I angry about it? No, I'm not angry. So am I wise? Because I'm going to tell you right now, you wake up in the morning and you see everything going on. I love the fact that we got a new president, or they got a new president. He my president, right? A new president. And you wake up tomorrow and he signs another damn super bill. Your ass gonna be happy to be here, or you gonna be mad? Oppression makes you mad, man. It makes you not want to deal with what you're dealing with. Because if you get used to it and you get used to dealing and you want to deal with it, you're freaking insane. It's the definition of insanity. You asking for something, you're expecting change from something that's never going to change, man. You freaking insane. You're crazy. You're begging up people to save you that are never going to save you. Never. We watched Esau last week. We did a Nation Divided. Was that last week or the week? No, the week before last. We did a Nation Divided.
The Kingdom Divided.
Right. And we watched Esau literally fight itself. And these are the people you want to come and save you? These are the people that you're asking quality from? They're not even equal with themselves. How you gonna beg Esau for equality? He don't even think his own people. If you ask a Republican and a Democrat, are they equal? They're gonna tell you, hell no. So as a people, Israel, we've got to get smarter. We've got to get stronger. You need to learn. You need to read. You need to understand your history. And then you need to take your history as you read your history and correlate it with the Bible. And understand what the Bible says about what you were going to do, what you had to deal with, your tribulation, and where we are today. Because that's the basis of this lesson. That you remember what you had to deal with. And then you wake up. Hopefully you teach your children something. Hopefully you just got a random kid in the neighborhood and you tell him something. It doesn't matter as long as you tell somebody. So with that, it's been another Thursday Night Thunder!
Shalom, everybody.
And we hope you edified. And we're going to say, death to America and Esau. You can't get away. You can't get away, man. We see you. And we're coming for you. But we're not coming to kill you. No, we're just going to kill you with these precepts. We're coming. We're coming.
Y'all already labeled us terrorists, so we're gonna keep terrorizing y'all asses with these precepts. Straight like that.
Damn right. Until y'all get enough. All right. So with that being said, we're gonna say shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom, Israel. Love you.